The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Winter's arrived, and with the holidays around the corner, it's the perfect time for Standard Heating's Black Friday Comfort Countdown specials. And right now is the time to become a Smart Club member and get your furnace in top shape before winter comes. Visit standardheating.com today. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
Hi, Nick. This is Reid here, and Josh told me that you're a really big fan, and I just want to say thank you. That's awesome, and that you work in a Minneapolis radio station, and often refer to me. That's really sweet, really nice. I'm on here on vacation in Florida. So I just want to say thank you so much, and I really appreciate you, and I hope you stay healthy and great. I wish you all the love and luck in the world. Okay, bye.
Come on now, there she is.
Your girl.
Tara Reid, my lady. Why is she leading off our program? Is it her birthday?
She passed on hanging out with some friends because today's her birthday.
God help us all.
Yeah, 49 years old today.
She's just a kid. Just getting started. Tara Reid.
Tara Reid and I are the same age. No wonder you love both of us. Maybe you really like 49-year-olds for some reason.
Something about folks born in 75.
Yep.
Where I can't get enough of them. That could be it. It was great to hear from Tara Reid again. Lovely, lovely lady. Girl of my dreams. We can work with this, right? We can work with a Friday morning.
Today is our Friday. Yeah, that's awesome. I can handle that.
And I hope that maybe there's a few others in our listening audience where today is also their Friday.
It is. I love that. Friday mornings, typically, people will text in and let us know that is their Friday. So a lot of people are having their Friday today.
Welcome to our final here on the Half-Ass Morning Show. We can't completely F off just yet. We've got a few things we have to cover. You can play that Tara Reid audio as many times as you like.
For anybody that hasn't heard that before, it was a cameo I got, Nick, many years ago. And she's, and if you're not familiar, I'm sure most people probably are, but if you're not familiar, you can spend some money and have a celebrity of all sorts, some sort of public figure, make you a little personalized message. You can't really put too much information. They just say, who's this for, who's this from, tell us a little bit about your friend, that kind of thing.
She's laid out on the beach in a bikini, wasn't she?
Yeah, so that's where I was going with this. So she makes this video, and she looks like she might have had a couple of pina coladas or something, and she's laying out in a bikini on this beach.
That's my girl.
That's why the audio sucks so bad.
Sounds like she's in a windstorm.
Wind was blowing a little bit. I just saw her on television recently. She was involved in a documentary. Boy, what was it? I'll get back to you on that. But we do have some things to do. We're going to wrap with our favorite Minnesota Viking, long snapper Andrew DePaola. Poor bastard got hurt out there on the ball field last weekend. But he got some of the good stuff as far as painkillers go, and he's willing to jaw jack with us this morning. And hopefully he has a few of those pills left over after his injury heals, and he can hand a few of them off to Daddy.
Well,
I haven't tripped balls in a while.
My wife had some surgery several years ago, and she had some friends that are like, hey, if you got any leftover, it was the same type of thing.
Yeah.
Vicodin, I believe it was.
Yeah, try not to take all of them. If you have any left over, you give them to a friend. We'll also be dragging a listener on air later to make his or her prediction for this weekend's football game. You know what I'm saying? The Minnesota game. Purple Pick'em is the cute name for the bit. We're trying to give away some big-time cash monies, but it ain't easy. It ain't easy to do. You got to predict the halftime score and the final. You guys have probably heard Purple Pick'em before, so we'll get somebody on the air to mess around with that. Starting around 7:30, DePaola, then we'll do the Purple Pick. The Vikings play on Sunday. God dang it, what was the documentary I was watching recently where I saw my lady, Tara Reid? And you know what? I don't even know what happened to that video now, that cameo video.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I'm no good at. I likely could have saved it, or
Let me see if I think I had to set up a.
I don't know what I
account.
did with it. You probably sent it to my phone, so Josh, maybe if I scrolled forever backwards on my cell phone and looked at every message you've ever sent me, maybe I would run into it. I don't know.
Maybe. I think that was an old phone.
A much smarter man could have saved it. I don't even know the terminology, but now I'm heartbroken thinking that I'll never see that Tara Reid on the beach cameo video ever again. I saw her in a documentary about... Damn. I can't come up with it. It was about fame, childhood stars, maybe, hot mamas, foxy ladies. I'm telling you, I'll come up with it before the end of the show.
I'm looking forward to it.
Was it, here's what do you call this again? A text message. This is a text message from You Picked Him Up, You Dropped Him, Jesus. He asks, was it a documentary about living under a bridge? No, you dick. It had nothing to do with, whenever we talk about my lady, Tara Reid, people text in and they call her names. Josh, a lot of them say that she is a
river troll.
A river troll that lives under a bridge. I won't hear any more of it.
That had come up so much, I feel bad even having that uttered, because I don't want that to ever get back to her.
No,
she was in town for a wedding a couple of years ago.
Stop talking like that. She was in town for a wedding?
Yeah, my stepson works at a country club, and there she is. I think she was a guest of Mike Zimmer, and former Viking coach, of course.
My Eskimo brother.
Your Eskimo brother.
A lot of connections here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, if I ever meet Tara Reid, then that's how I break the ice. I say, hey, you know Mike Zimmer, huh? And she says, yeah, I was at a wedding a couple years ago.
I might not have all the details exactly right, but I remember something about Mike Zimmer, and I thought he had said, yeah, they're here, and she was a guest of his.
Yeah, so she'll say, yeah, Mike Zimmer, I know him from this and that. I went to a wedding, and he was... And then I can say, well, I know him even better than you. And she'll be like, how do you know Mike Zimmer better? And I can say, we're Eskimo brothers. And she'll go, oh. Next thing you know, I'm living with her. Nowhere near a bridge. Nowhere near a bridge.
You can take her away from that lifestyle.
I got it. The documentary where I recently saw my lady, Tara Reid, was a documentary about Lindsay Lohan. Okay? About the life and times of Lindsay Lohan. And I think Tara Reid, coming from that same time period, early 2000s, hit it big in the entertainment industry. They were tight for a specific amount of time. You know what I'm saying? They ran together around Hollywood together. So she was involved in that report.
What was her show? Was it 90210 or Melrose Place? Or
I have no idea. Tara Reid?
Yeah, Tara Reid. What did she get popular on?
American Pie.
Yeah.
Oh, that really? She wasn't in one of those shows?
No.
Ah, okay.
I remember her in Parent Trap, too.
Never
Way
saw
back
it.
in
Oh,
the
yeah. Are we talking about Lindsay Lohan or Tara Reid?
We're talking about
Reid.
Tara Reid.
Yeah,
Well,
Tara Reid is American Pie. That's where she...
Oh, but of course, everyone knows that. But I also, like Josh, thought she had a television show.
Yeah, I thought she had a television show before that. So she didn't. It was...
I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. All right.
I know she was in one of Nick's favorite movies, Van Wilder.
Yep.
I don't know how I didn't think that was funny. Outside of the dog eclair scene, which I will never watch again, I thought that movie was pretty funny.
I enjoyed it, too.
I can tell you why I didn't find it funny. And this Ryan Reynolds guy, right? He was the main character in Van Wilder.
Yeah.
And I can't believe we're going to spend time talking about this, but I can't help myself.
That's the first time I ever saw him.
Right. He's gone on to become a wonderful star, right? He's got all the talent in the world. I'm not doubting that. But this is why I remember this, because it pissed me off. This is why I couldn't stand the movie Van Wilder, because it's Ryan Reynolds doing his best impersonation of Jim Carrey. Watch the movie again. It's just Ryan Reynolds ripping off Jim Carrey. Yeah, I said it.
Jim Carrey. Now, that's the guy from 90210, or was it Melrose Place?
Both, actually.
All right. Oh, I don't have any idea why folks would care enough to put this up on a website, but one or two of them did. And I wanted to direct this over to Ashley. How are you today, Ashley?
I'm good. How
Are
are
you
you?
good? Are you good? I'm good. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's not all very genuine.
Lamar Odom. Does everyone remember that effing wacko?
Yeah. I remember him because of all. There's Ozzy Osbourne, Keith Richards, and Lamar Odom. I wonder, how did they survive their lifestyle?
Effing wacko. Lamar, decent NBA career, in case you don't know. Decent NBA career. You know, kind of was gifted a world championship when he played, or two. I can't remember when he played for the Lakers.
2.
You know, Kobe was there and whatnot, you know. I mean, Lamar was a good basketball player, I guess, when he was young. And then he couldn't put down the crack pipe and whatnot. Damn near died in the arms of some hookers in Nevada, Lamar Odom. And then he was on television for a while on the Kardashian program because he was married to one of them, Khloe Kardashian. Ashley.
Yep.
Would you call the cops if one of your exes did this? So Lamar Odom, I saw a video yesterday. He's wandering around a custom sex doll shop. He's taking a tour of the Real Doll Company's sex doll factory. Real Doll. I think most folks have heard that now. They're the marquee name when it comes to these lifelike sex dolls.
That's where we bought ours.
Oh, is
Real
that
Doll.
is
Yeah.
that where we sent our check? Okay, Real Doll. So Lamar's over there. Why someone would bother following him around with a video camera? Oh, get the cameras. Lamar is at the sex shop. You know, who cares? But it became a thing. Well, I guess this is why it became a thing. He went around the shop there, the factory, ordering every little detail that he wanted from his Real Doll sex doll. And he told the folks he wants it to look just like his ex, Khloe Kardashian.
Oh, that is so creepy.
So would you call the cops if you found out one of your exes was making or had made a sex doll to perfectly mimic your appearance?
Yeah, I would probably get a restraining order of some sort.
Really?
That's
Wee.
terrifying. That's really creepy.
Better that than a voodoo doll. I'd be
Yeah.
absolutely. I'd be so flattered.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I take it as a compliment.
That would never happen to
No.
me. Here's Lamar running around the store.
One of the more popular ones.
Oh, wow.
It's the body yap. Biggest. What more can you ask for?
She bad.
Look at the foot. Look at the ankle.
Hey, yo, it's crazy because it looks like she got blood running through her veins right here. Am I bugging or am I going crazy? Look.
Imagine how much you'd love shopping for her, Lamar.
Yeah, no.
Bras and panties.
This will make me probably get into women's fashion, too.
Oh, yeah, sure would.
It sounds like somebody, like a realtor, walking around a house pointing out the features, or you're buying a car.
Is he smoking rock again?
I don't know.
That's weird.
No. I mean, come on. Josh and Dana, you said you'd take it as a compliment.
I absolutely would.
No, you wouldn't.
This is it's creepy if it's the other way around.
Not if it was your crazy ex, dude.
I don't really have a crazy ex.
Well, but picture that you have a crazy ex, because I'd imagine that Khloe Kardashian, as experienced as she might be, I bet to her, Lamar Odom is that crazy ex that she's still a little afraid of. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I would take it as a compliment. Absolutely. And I would totally humble brag about it. Can you believe this nutcase? She made a sex doll after. She just can't get over me.
I would, if it was my crazy ex, I would. Of course, there's a small part of me that would consider it, wow, no kidding. That's kind of, she really made a sex doll built just like me. There'd be a little bit of that, what's the word you use? You compliment.
Yeah, you'd be a little flattered. Even if it was a crazy one.
I would also be freaked out.
I think it's, for whatever reason, this is, well, I guess I forget the term you'd use for something like this, but it's definitely creepy when a guy does that to a girl, and that's probably, maybe that's unfair. But for whatever reason, if a girl ever did that, I'm going to say for me, that'd be fantastic. I would love it.
All right, so
double standard is what I was looking for.
There's a double standard.
Yeah.
Lamar, apparently in this video somewhere, Lamar Odom says, this is wrong. He can't wait, I guess, for his Khloe clone sex doll, because then he can do whatever he wants to it sexually.
If you want to watch the video, we couldn't post it, but you can check out TMZ.com. And it's blurred. Like the privates are blurred, but might be a little much for your workplace, depending on where you work.
I can do whatever I want to it, just like it was the real Chloe.
No. That's just not right at all.
Ashley, how would you feel if they just made a Ashley model that anybody could buy? Would that be different?
No, I wouldn't like that.
You wouldn't?
Nope.
Well, they'd give you a big pile of money.
Yeah, you'd have a lot of money.
It would have to be a lot.
Like, what are we talking?
Like $1 million.
$1 million?
Yeah, that's just weird. That feels
I'd
like
want
a
more than that.
violation.
Well, at the same time, here's the other side of that coin, Ashley. Let's say you go ahead and you say, all right, fine, real doll. Make an Ashley sex doll. Make it a perfect copy of me, right?
Yep.
You guys are going to give me $5 million? Yeah, go ahead. And then not a one sells.
That'd be my fear.
Not a one.
If I had the money, I think that would help. I could buy things that would make me feel better about the situation. But
A lot of ice cream and booze.
Yeah.
Now, we know if it was Wapple, he would buy a ton of them for his friends and family based on his T-shirt sales.
Just my family would buy it.
Yeah. Oh, that's
They
so
do
weird.
support you.
Yeah.
I mean, if they hand you $5 million, Smashly, just for the permission to make your sex doll, then, yeah, that's going to ease any hurt feelings that nobody bought your sex doll. But what if they create it and all of your income is based on how many of them sell and nobody buys one?
Yeah,
and now there's 18,000 Ashley copy clone sex dolls hanging in their warehouse, and they're probably going to ask you to show up with a U-Haul truck and take them out of there.
Yeah, what do you do with
Get these out of here. No one bought them.
You go to Goodwill and they're just lined up.
Yeah, oh, gosh.
Bury them in a landfill like the old E.T. Atari game.
I watched that
I
documentary.
did too. That was fascinating.
I can't believe it was that bad of a game. Man.
They spent like 2 weeks making it.
Thank you, brother and sisterhood. Tara Reid, the show I was trying to come up with, Scrubs. She was on Scrubs.
Never saw it.
That was a good show.
Ashley?
It was.
Yeah.
I'd buy one of your dolls just to make you feel better.
I'd buy it as a
Would
gift.
buy them all up.
I'd buy it as a gift for someone else.
I'd buy. Well,
Just so you could get a sale.
One of my friends would like one. I'll buy one for me, and there's one of my friends who asks about you all the time. So, someone in this article about Lamar Odom, again, if you're just tuning in, Lamar Odom, because I guess he's a big shot, he gets to go to the Real Doll Factory in Las Vegas and pick out every little detail of his lifelike sex doll. And if you follow this kind of thing, you know how real they can be. And the word is, he told them, make it look exactly like my ex, Khloe Kardashian, so then I can fold this thing in half and bang it like it was the old days, right? Someone in the article said, it doesn't feel legal for a company to make a sex doll of someone without their consent.
I agree with that.
Sure.
That doesn't seem right at all.
Now, someone else said maybe she did consent. It is the Kardashians, and they do enjoy a little bit of attention no matter what the cost.
True.
So who knows how she feels or the family feels. Or it's just really strange.
Yeah, wouldn't that be weird if he was like picking out every single detail and then at the end he's like, it looks like my ex.
I mean, he didn't mean to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the guy just has a type.
These things go for between $8,000 and $20,000. As you probably already know, we've had conversations about these friggin' things before. We have.
Would you guys have a threesome with yourself if there was a sex doll in your likeness?
Yeah, why not?
No.
You would? Yeah, I wouldn't want me anywhere near me.
No.
No.
So I'm banging my girlfriend and I'm banging me?
Yeah, you're involved.
No, I'm probably not going to do that.
No.
Ashley?
Maybe. Give it a try.
Look at what I'm doing to me. You sit over there and touch yourself and watch me do something to me. Look at what I'm doing to me. I never thought I would do this to myself. Not in front of anybody anyway, but look at you over there watching me and me.
Dana, do you wish you would have waited to hear other people's answers before you jumped in there?
Yeah, a little bit.
have been there, my friend.
Yeah, I jumped in too quick on that one. Should have
been there.
Should have just kind of waited that one out a little bit more. Read the room a little bit better.
Wow, here's a listener who was pretty excited when we were talking about the idea of an Ashley sex doll. This listener couldn't even make their text message clear. It says, I would butt a Ashley Sec doll, S-E-C. What's the other hand doing there, partner? Text us. If you're going to text us clearly, will you? I would butt a Ashley Sec doll.
It turned on autocorrect.
I understand it's creepy, but there's not just a little bit of you, Ashley, that's like, all right, that's kind of cool.
No.
Nothing at all?
No.
You know what? I bet that something you've had creepy stuff like that in the past. That must have something to do with it?
Yes.
Yeah. I kind of forget some of the stuff you've told us.
Yeah, people are weird. Can be weird.
I promise you is how I should have delivered that. I promise you there will be actual live, living, breathing women at Rick's Cabaret for our Toys for Tatas toy drive on November 22nd. It's the earliest Toys for Tatas holiday toy drive we've ever hosted.
They can't wait to see us. That's great.
The real women, the living, breathing, they can communicate with you back and forth. They can't wait to see us. Cubby's right. It's coming up. It's coming up in just a couple of weeks.
2 weeks.
And we're hoping folks will help us pack the house and provide some great Christmas gifts for the young people. A lot of these young kids, the holidays, they're not what we all know them to be. Tough times. They could use a friggin' break. They could use some damn help. And that's where our listeners have always come through for us. So come November 22nd, that's our half-ass morning show, Toys for Tatas Toy Drive. It's a Friday morning. You should be able to take that day off. Or even just show up in the morning, go work half a day, whatever. Your schedule is not my business. Friday morning, Rick's Cabaret Gentlemen's Club, Friday morning, November 22nd, of course, to be specific again. Rick's Cabaret Gentlemen's Club. Help the kids out. And then you can just hang out and drink some beer with us. Hot ladies everywhere.
One of these years, we should just come up with like an alibi email or some official letterhead where if someone needs an alibi. Or maybe just like we put together, we've been talking about AI lately, an AI video of them volunteering somewhere else. Donating at a different, they're at an orphanage digging a garden or something.
I mean, anything's possible at this point, isn't it, Josh?
I mean, they're technically being charitable.
Right.
But, some people might say, what's going on there?
We're looking for gifts for kids of all ages, so, not only keep the young kids in mind, but like a teenager and such. Come by and donate to a kid who could use a friggin' break. You know who's been threatening to show up to this?
Who's that?
I got a phone call the other night. And you guys are all going to go, oh, he's so nice. I don't understand. Whenever you tell these stories about your brother, it doesn't make any sense because he's so nice. Every time I've met him, he's totally nice. My friggin' brother.
Oh, I would love it if he came.
Is that right?
Yep.
You just love it, huh?
I would love it, yeah.
He's a great guy. Every time you see him, he's a great guy.
Yeah, every time I see him, he's so nice.
Right.
Did you answer too quick again, Dana?
Spoke too soon again.
I was hoping you could say Wang, to be honest, but your brother is a nice consolation.
Oh, dude.
Your brother's so nice, Dana once said, wait, he and Nick are twins?
Now, you brought up my bro, Wang. I'm going to try to talk Wang into it.
I've always wanted to meet Wang.
I have wanted to meet Wang, too.
Do you want to talk about deer caught in headlights?
Oh, that would be fun.
Wang at a topless joint, dude.
That would be fun.
I'm going to give him a call this weekend. Well, he wants me to go with him tomorrow night to the Little River Band concert at Medina Ballroom. I don't know if I can make it. I'll talk to Wang this weekend. I want to get him up on stage.
Oh, that would be great.
I mean, not to dance, of course, but I mean just to get on the mic maybe, because he's the most uncomfortable human being that's ever lived, Wang. Anyway, you don't need to hear Wang's problems.
It's like Napoleon Dynamite drops the microphone, runs off the stage. Gosh.
Oh, that's so stupid.
Wang would probably bring the mic to his mouth to say something, and then he'd throw up on the stage. The nerves would overwhelm him.
I think we've all want to see Wang at a strip club, so that'd be great if we could get some Wang there.
Get a little Wang at the club.
He's more like Gary from Team America World Police than he's like Napoleon Dynamite. There's a lot of vomit, and it's got to get out. All right. We got to get going. We're going to have fun today, though, aren't we, Cubby?
I hope so. That's the plan. Today is our Friday, as we learned earlier.
Randy Shaver, Purple Pick'em, Andrew DePaola, that whole mess. We'll be back in a couple minutes here on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
It is that time of the year at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Winter's arrived, and with the holidays around the corner, it's the perfect time for Standard Heating's Black Friday Comfort Countdown specials. And right now is the time to become a Smart Club member and get your furnace in top shape before winter comes. Schedule your tune-up, boost your indoor air quality, or grab huge deals on a new system. Do not wait. Visit standardheating.com today. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
Best-selling author and business growth expert Candy Valentino brings her unique spin on achieving financial freedom.
You're going to ruffle feathers. That's the only way that you're really going to get where it is that you want to go. So I want you to use this little podcast as a reminder. You don't need someone else's validation or acceptance. You hold the keys to unlock whatever it is that you're looking to do. And you don't need someone else's permission to use it.
The Candy Valentino Podcast, wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
God, I hate this place.
What now?
It's deep inside industry stuff, Dana. You wouldn't understand.
Sure.
Josh and I were just having an off-air conversation, and it's reestablished my feelings on this place, and I hate it.
I think, Dana, it's time you knew, once you become an official employee, we can share this stuff with you.
Yeah.
Once they start collecting a paycheck?
Yeah, once you see Cumulus on your paycheck, then you'll be good to go.
We'll tell you everything you need to know when the time is right. And you also will end up hating this place. North Korean soldiers are a bunch of jagoffs, according to our lead-off story here in today's Stupid News report. I don't know if you've been following it. It says here, the North Korean military have jumped on in with the friggin' Russians for the war with Ukraine. But here's the word. The North Korean soldier dudes, far away from home and all that, far away from that President Kim Jong-un prickbag looking over their shoulders 24/7, the soldier dudes are able to full-on access the godless internet for the first time.
Oh. Do we have a Randy Marsh situation on our hands?
And the story says that the soldiers are binging on porno movies, gorging themselves on porn. Like a damn 12-year-old boy with their parents' house to themselves for the very first time. Just gorging themselves on hardcore pornography because they finally get a crack at it.
That's great. I wonder if anyone predicted that. Like, I want, these military strategists are often quite bright. I wonder if somebody said, hey, this is what we need to do. Give them unfettered access to the internet and maybe send a couple of Pornhub links to these guys who have never seen it before. They'll be so distracted, we can napalm them, and they'll never see it coming.
Right, like the military strategist working for the Ukraine. I wonder if there was a military strategist working for North Korea who told Kim Jong-un, or whatever his name is, hey, send them over there, but you better not send them with their cell phones.
Yeah, whoever said, don't worry about it, is eating crow right now.
Right. Oh, don't worry about it. They won't be looking at, wait a minute, what's going on over there? So,
the Art of War, you've probably heard of that, the book on war. I think the quote was, all warfare is based on deception. In this case, it's based on masturbation. They should start doing that to rogue nations who have no access to pornography.
Right.
Instead of dropping leaflets of misinformation, just give them free Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Here you go.
It's become a real problem.
Can you imagine you're killed because you set your gun down to masturbate?
That would be terrible. That would be awful.
The password for our Wi-Fi is not Wi-Fi. Don't use it.
It's similar to that story we told a few months ago about some tiny little island in the middle of nowheres who have never had internet access. And then suddenly somebody hooked them up with a whatever it is that creates internet access. I'm sure not the guy to answer that question. But suddenly this tiny little group of islanders, all of their traditions started to break down. They were no longer working together to build a hut or whatever they did on the island. They were no longer being friendly to each other. They had this little paradise. We told this story a few months ago. They had this little paradise going on. And someone brought the internet into the mix, and they've turned into a bunch of friggin' animals just like the rest of us. Just a bunch of angry, masturbating animals. So again, the North Korean soldiers, they go over to fight on the Russian side against the Ukraine, but they brought their friggin' cell phones with them. They finally have internet access, and they're just tearing at their genitalia. The story goes ahead with a couple of cute puns for you, Josh. They're calling them hardened soldiers. That's one of the jokes.
Sure.
These soldiers have been engaged in a real battle of the bulge. That's the other pun that I saw for you pun people.
Solid.
But never in their lives have these North Korean dudes been allowed to use the internet for such things. Back at home, I think they'll just go ahead and cut your pecker off for you if you're caught doing something so American like watching a red-hot porno movie. Now, on the front lines, everywhere as you look, North Korean soldiers with their pants around their ankles.
I'd want to get out of the line of fire, if you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
This is my rifle, this is my gun, this is for fighting, and this is for fun. What movie? Full Metal Jacket.
Can you imagine if someday we're watching the president give a medal to Sasha Grey for single-handedly, pardon the pun, stopping the war in Ukraine? Thank you, Sasha Grey, for your contribution.
If anybody could do it, it'd be her.
Tears in my eyes, Josh, if I saw something like that. Tears in my eyes. So, maybe the Ukraine soldiers are saying, hey, fellas, wait till after dark and we attack by the glow of the North Korean soldiers' cell phone screens. Catch them with their pants down.
And like the moans of ecstasy would give away their location.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it South Korea that was blasting K-pop towards North Korea?
I thought it was the other way around.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
That was a good one, too. Just annoy them.
If I ever went off to war, Josh, and I end up dying, like you described, with my rifle at my feet, dong in one hand, cell phone in the other, the U.S. military will make up a heroic story to tell my family, right?
I would think so, yeah.
They're not going to tell my family that I was watching a belladonna blow bang in the latrine, are they?
I wouldn't think so, no.
Hopefully not.
I bet they'd help you out.
But, I mean, even if they did tell the truth, at least you went out doing what you loved,
Molesting himself on the field of battle?
Yeah, to a blowbang video.
And by the way, belladonna, you mentioned Sasha Grey, Josh.
That's the only female porn star I could come up with off the top of my head. Oh, what's the other one?
and
Who's in Who Nailin' Palin?
Lisa Ann.
Lisa Ann. Oh, yeah, she's attractive.
Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with saying Sasha Grey's name out loud because she's one of the all-time greats. But there's no comparison when you put her up against belladonna.
Do you have can you explain that to me? Like what?
Pure nastiness. We're talking pure 100% unmitigated nastiness. There aren't any that compare to belladonna.
Like she'll just do anything?
Any damn thing.
Even the ZJ?
What the hell is a ZJ?
You have to ask. Can't afford it.
Going back to a couple weeks before Halloween now. That's where we're going next. Going back to a couple weeks before Halloween. Seattle cops had to go ahead and arrest a dude who was going around town stealing mail out of folks' mailboxes. And the dude committed these crimes while on a bicycle and dressed in a green dinosaur costume.
Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could that they didn't stop to think if they should.
That's Jeffrey Osborne. What was his name again?
Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum. Dude's on a grown person on a bicycle dressed in a green dinosaur costume. And not the giant inflatable dinosaur costume that so many of us enjoy, just a floppy pajamas-looking dinosaur costume like you might see a first grader wearing on Halloween night.
That inflatable one I saw, Dana sent me photos, his fiance. When is that for thanks? What's that called? Halloween.
Halloween. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's really easily inflates. It's really simple. It's fun.
It looked like she was just wearing it kind of around the house. I mean, I think that's what you have to do if you own one of those.
Yeah, you just kind of, while you're doing laundry, you just kind of throw on the dinosaur costume.
I love that thing.
There's video of this dumb bastard being stuffed into the back of a cop car with his floppy Halloween costume. What did I say it was a minute ago? Dinosaur. His floppy green dinosaur costume on. There's video of him being thrown into the back of the cop car. It's cute. The police said they found a backpack belonging to old Puffin stuff there, and the backpack was plumb full of people's mail. And actually, now that I think about it, H.R. Puffin stuff was a dragon.
Yes, it was.
So maybe I should call this guy, Barney, I guess? Barney wasn't he a big shot there for a while before he was killed? Barney the dinosaur?
I don't know that he was killed.
Yeah,
but
he was killed. No, he got killed.
A lot of your animal stories end with a violent death, but
the cops, of course, they always have to try and be funny these days about the arrests they make. So the cops in Seattle tweeted, "It's a tale as old as time."
Cute.
And that's as far as they went with that joke. And I like that they were subtle about it. They didn't overdo it. That's funny. It's a tale as old as time.
Here's some audio from the body cam you were talking about.
The male in the dinosaur suits at Olive and Broadway.
Watch your head. It's easiest if you turn around and put your butt on it first.
Seeing him get sat down in the back of the cop car.
That was him sitting?
Yeah.
And they said something about put your butt on it?
They was telling him how to sit down more comfortably.
With handcuffs on.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Cuffed behind his back.
The police also released, well, you heard the audio right there, so obviously the police released video footage. But they released it on Election Day, which was, a couple days ago. This is good, too. Seeing how it was on Election Day, the cops tweeted, "Listen, we know it's Election Day and stress is high, but we arrested a dinosaur."
Life finds a way.
That's cute.
Another headline on this dude went like this: "Dinosaur-human hybrid arrested for Seattle burglaries." That's very clever.
I like that kind of stuff.
Obviously, it killed the rest of you. Yes. Must go faster. Faster, yes. I love that Jeff Goldblum's delivery.
Me too.
Every movie, it's the same damn thing.
Yeah,
He's
I
got
fall for it every time.
He's got that little stutter and that delay. It's all intentional.
Oh, I love
Jeff
that song.
Goldblum.
Me too. That's what you... Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
it is.
Maybe I shouldn't bring up what could be a painful memory, but your very brief wedding, or I should say marriage, started out with that theme song as you walked down the aisle.
Yeah, that was a good choice.
Oh, it really was.
That was fun. We're looking around like, is she walking down the aisle to the Jurassic Park theme song?
Can you give us some background on that again? Why did you choose the Jurassic Park theme song?
It's just cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Because it's cool?
Cool. It's pretty cool.
You're cool.
Thank you.
Josh, what if you and I got married someday? What would you like to walk the aisle to? I mean, we love a good power ballad and that kind of thing.
Well, yeah, we could do a power ballad.
Gotta be something Mr. Big related, right?
I was thinking something off of Eat 'em and Smile.
Dude.
David Lee Roth.
Well, okay. and 8 out of 10 of you are going to have no idea what we're talking about. But for the 2 of you who do, certainly at the reception, when we're dancing as a new married couple, we're going to play Going Crazy. Yeah. We're going to play Yankee Rose. We're going to play Bump and Grind, because later on that night, we're going to get it on as a new married couple, Bump and Grind, off of Eat 'em and Smile.
Wait, what's a song that... I know there's a couple ballads that will make both of us cry that we've agreed on. I'm trying to... Wait, something maybe by Steve Perry, or with him singing?
Oh, of course. Foolish Heart. Well, no, Foolish Heart is about, losing love. So that's where we have to navigate around the songs that are about lost love. And I'll tell you what it's not going to be. It's not going to be Love of a Lifetime by Firehouse.
No.
I can guarantee you that. Because that song has always made my skin crawl.
I got it. I'm afraid to say it because we might divorce our wives and get married this weekend.
What is the song that you and I are going to walk the aisle to?
Love Don't Come Easy by White Lion.
Comes a time
Oh, my God.
when, baby, you and me, we gotta work it out. All right, as far as I know, there has been no actual declaration of war. But we keep seeing little signs here and there. Sometimes the signs aren't so little. We keep seeing signs of what I believe is in an inevitable battle to the death with humans on one side and monkeys on the other. You've heard me mention this many times. I truly believe that before my lifetime is over, there will be a battle to the death between humans and monkeys, because monkeys are very smart. They can see what we can see, and that is we humans have ruined everything. We're doing it all wrong. We've worn out our welcome as the official rulers of this planet, and the monkeys, they're going to set it off at one point or another. Now, this might be nothing, but it also might be something. Police in South Carolina right now are on the hunt for 43 monkeys that escaped from a research facility.
No one knows how this happened, but one theory is that the facility was researching how quickly it could lose 43 monkeys. The lab, owned by the completely benign-sounding Alpha Genesis Corporation, is located on South Carolina's Morgan Island, known as Monkey Island, or as it will soon be called, Island.
No more monkeys. Yeah, this is how the end of the world begins.
Yes.
Genetically altered monkeys on the loose.
Not good.
All right. Real quick, back to the conversation we were having a minute ago. When Josh and I get married, what song will we walk the aisle to? We, of course, you always forget the obvious. We have a song, and it's Kenny Rogers' big hit, Don't Tell Me, because I know it. It's called Through the Years. Sorry, we forgot about that one. It's been our song for so long, sometimes you forget the little things.
That's more of a first dance song, I feel like.
But I can't believe this, and again, this is going to be lost on most of you. One of our listeners texted in and said we could listen to or play Baby O by Vinnie Vincent Invasion. I can't believe there is another live human being out there who knows that song. Baby O. Thank you very much. You have a 763. Okay, back to the 43 monkeys escaped from a research facility in South Carolina. Word is they're still wearing their little hospital gowns, some of them with thermometers in their mouths. They just upped and busted free from that research facility. It says here, anyone who finds a monkey should not try and interact with the monkey. They say just call 911 and then get the hell out of there. The monkeys that are currently on the run are the Rhesus macaw brand of monkey. It says they stand about 6'6", 6'7" on average.
What?
Wow.
No, I don't think that's correct.
One of them answers to the name of Clyde.
Uh-oh.
Never met a good Clyde.
Do you think he's the leader?
The folks from the research facility say they are, quote, too young to carry disease. Okay, that's good news, I guess, but I would imagine they're not too young to pull one of your legs clean out of your hip socket. Traps have been set up all over town. Cops are using thermal imaging cameras
Oh, yeah, these do not look. I'm looking at angry pictures of them. Yeah, get away from these.
The research facility people are currently trying to entice the monkeys to come out from where they're hiding.
Here, monkey.
Oh, my gosh, that would be so scary if this thing came up on me.
They're trying to entice the monkeys out of the dark by enticing them with food. Residents are strongly advised to keep doors and windows locked. You don't want a hungry monkey slipping into your house through an open window. A pizza delivery kid was already choked out by a monkey as he was walking a pie up to somebody's door. They took the pizza back to the woods. This kid woke up. He didn't know what happened. He just knew he doesn't have his pie anymore. He's got no money. He's on a sidewalk.
Now he needs to pay for the pizza.
Yeah, he's got to go back to the shop.
His boss isn't going to believe the story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. A monkey stole your pizza.
What, you didn't hear on the news that 43 monkeys? Yeah, 43 monkeys escaped from a monkey hospital. Yeah, right.
It's a little concerning they haven't caught these monkeys yet.
Yeah.
The same place lost some monkeys in 2016, but they found them within 6 hours.
Why do we keep giving the monkeys? They keep giving the monkeys.
Who's funding this?
Well, here's what's concerning. It says here there's a total of 3,500 monkeys at the monkey hospital there in South Carolina. Only 43 of them got out. Let's say the rest of them decide to get out. Then we're in real freaking trouble.
Yeah, I don't think they should have those anymore.
Yeah,
Monkey Island, like you heard that guy say on television, Monkey Island is where the monkey hospital is. Off the coast of South Carolina? Does that mean they swam into town? What do you mean off the coast of South Carolina? Where is this? Did they swim?
Not that I'm aware of. I thought it was just kind of...
Probably right next to the ocean. Yeah, it says that. So there was 50 in the cage and only 43 left. How bad would you feel if you were one of the 7? I should have ran out the door.
Oh, I bet they're getting like extra dessert and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like some banana cream pie, or I don't know what monkeys are in.
Well, they're the ones. Good. The ones who didn't escape are the ones who've been beaten into submission.
Yeah,
they can't swim. They can't run.
Where are the other monkeys?
They've been kneecapped. They want to run. They can't.
Give us the info.
A few years ago, Summers in Pennsylvania, research monkeys escaped from a monkey hospital. And then they got in a car crash.
Oh, no.
You see what I'm saying? They got in a car and they got in a car crash.
I'd love to see some monkeys driving a car.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be cool.
They were trying to go someplace. They escaped from a monkey hospital in Pennsylvania, and then next thing you know, the cops found them strung out all over the road because they got in a car crash.
I think we need to crack down and make it tougher to get a monkey testing license in this country if all these monkeys are escaping.
They got to, it's tough to find quality help these days.
Yeah, better vetting process.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to watch that gate or wherever they keep it. All right, so not the Rams QB Jesus texted in and said we should play a rap version of Love Don't Come Easy.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go again with the AI machine?
The AI, yeah. So,
I'm going to probably cry.
So we got, it kicks out 2 versions like we were talking about yesterday. Somebody recommended we call our AI band Snickerdick or the Snickerdicks.
That's a great idea in reference to my pal Joey. I told the story a couple days ago. Our AI band is now called Snickerdick.
You like Snickerdick or the Snickerdicks?
The first option.
Snickerdick.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have ready for us at this moment, what again, Josh?
Yeah, so this is the Love Don't Come Easy from White Lion. All I had to do was just copy the lyrics into this program and hit make a rap. And so I haven't heard them yet, so it's 2 versions.
Dude.
There comes a time when baby you and me.
All right, I don't like it.
Yeah, that one
I don't
sucked.
like that one at all.
Let's try.
Terrible.
It did a great job yesterday. Let's try this one.
What the hell is this guy saying?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
That was the Snickerdick screwed that one up.
Yeah, just it was much better yesterday.
Yeah. There comes.
If you missed yesterday, here's one that it kicked out. It kicked out a couple of rock versions of just a real quick morning show song we wrote.
Half-ass morning show is on
That's impressive.
That is cool.
Those raps were stupid. And that's not White Lion's fault. Maybe it's just White Lion, they nailed it so much you can't compare.
Yeah, you can't mess with Love Don't Come Easy. What do I have left here for you? Oh, boy. We were just talking about this a week or so ago, actually. The exploding whale incident from the state of Oregon, a town called Florence, I believe, way back in the year of 1970. Whale washes up on the beach. Then the whale wakes up dead. And the citizens of this little town of Florence, they got to get rid of this friggin' whale, so their idea was to blow it up on the beach. Put a bunch of dynamite in the damn thing. The explosion, this is a true story in case this is the first you've heard of it. The explosion of whale parts was more than folks bargained for, and it became a huge, hilarious mess.
Well, I'm confident that it'll work. The only thing is we're not sure just exactly how much explosives it'll take to disintegrate this thing, so the scavengers, seagulls, and crabs and whatnot can clean it up.
Our camera stopped rolling immediately after the blast. The humor of the entire situation suddenly gave way to a run for survival as huge chunks of whale blubber fell everywhere. A parked car over a quarter of a mile from the blast site was the target of one large chunk. The passenger compartment literally smashed. Everyone on the scene was covered with small particles of dead whale.
Oh. Of dead whale.
Whale.
Crazy.
Small particles of dead whale.
So, the new developments here, what I have in front of me, Exploding Whale Day, I think has been a thing there for years, but now it's going to be a full-fledged holiday month. They have an Exploding Whale Memorial Park. They've had that set up for a while, too. But a couple nights ago, the mayor of this little town, Florence, a fellow by the name of Rob Ward, he got up in front of a crowd. He had two people standing with him, both dressed in whale costumes. One of them was dressed as a dead whale. The other was dressed as a smiling, happy whale. And they officially declared November of the year 24, where we're sitting right now, they're calling it Exploding Whale Month to memorialize the exploding whale phenomenon, the exploding whale iconic moment, whatever you want to call it. There'll be a week-long celebration, beer and food and a midway, but the entire month of November this year is dedicated to remembering the wonderful exploding whale episode.
It's kind of fun they do that.
Yeah,
it's
I like
amazing
it.
that was a... I'm sorry, did you say you don't like that?
I like it. I think it's cute. I mean, it's awful, but cute at the same time.
20 cases of dynamite they put in that whale.
My God.
That's a lot of dynamite.
And there were chunks of whale ass and whale genitalia flying all the way over into the next town. When they hit the switch on that sumbitch.
Yeah, knowing my luck, I'd get hit by genitals and it would get in my mouth or something like that.
A lot of it would get in your mouth.
Yeah.
And the rest of it would just be like on the front of your shirt.
They're like, oh, you got covered in a whole lot of whale, but unfortunately, just the genitals went in your mouth.
No.
A lot of it would end up in your mouth.
Quit laughing, Wapple. You got the anus.
Oh, no.
Oh, you got whale butt in your mouth, bro?
Dude, whale butt.
As I mentioned, this goes all the way back to the year 1970, but in the early 2000s, once YouTube took off and people started throwing this video around again, everybody fell in love with how dumb the whole gimmick turned out to be. That radio dork you heard in the audio, the guy who was reporting on it as it happened live, I had his name here, but I lost his name. It doesn't matter. He still signs autographs at exploding whale events. He's a big shot in town. Still to this day, everyone wants to meet the radio dork who was reporting and recording live that day.
That's pretty funny, too. Yeah, we're pretty confident that this thing's going to go off without a hitch here. Should be good. Nobody's going to be covered in whale blubber or anything like that.
So state officials, whenever they bring this up, they want to be very clear. They do not practice that kind of thing anymore. Because I guess people ask him all the time, so when a dead whale washes up on the beach, do you guys still put dynamite? No, they don't do that. They learned their friggin' lesson 54 years ago.
I miss the good old days.
Was the reporter's name Paul Lindman?
I'm going to go along with it. So the 54th Exploding Whale Celebration and Commemoration will take place this Sunday from noon to 4, and it's going to be a hell of a party. But the whole month is dedicated to it.
Yeah, so Paul Lindman was the dude, and he has a personalized license plate of the whale, and it says explode.
No way.
Oh, no. So
oh, my God.
He's one of those guys where he never wants anyone to forget exactly who he is.
Sounds that way.
That's not cute. That's douchey.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, if they invited him back, that could have been the organizer saying, wouldn't it be fun to have him back? But, yeah, the fact that he's now, that's his persona.
He's still hanging on to that. And now I have to hate the guy. All right. I suppose we better get going. There's one more quick one here for you, I guess. A hotel in the Philippines has received a Guinness World Record for the largest building in the shape of a chicken.
This thing's kind of crazy.
You're kind of crazy.
It's been said.
Yeah.
It's weird that they made this, but I'm glad they did.
It's a rooster-shaped building.
A lot of cock jokes going around online, as you can
God,
imagine.
so tired. I'm sure they're so tired of it over there in the Philippines, hearing all the cock jokes. There are 15 wonderful hotel rooms inside this building that's the biggest building in the world shaped as a chicken.
That's fun. I'd stay in the chicken hotel.
I would
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
I guess.
I mean, why? Why do they?
Yeah, it's kind of... It's impressive somebody talked other people into this.
I bet it was difficult to do.
Because they'd all kind of laugh and think that you're joking around.
Yeah. This is the words of the mayor in town or somebody. He says, the game fowl industry employs millions of people in the Philippines, so it reflects the attitude of the people or something cute like that. Look it up on the internet. I'll send you some links.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Here's a Hail Mary of a shot that...
Unreal! 1 second left!
You love it, don't you?
Wow.
You can't get enough of it.
I was into it.
I got to tell you see, I almost didn't click on it because you see so many of those, it's an amazing call, and it's just a guy yelling.
Right.
It's like, well, I don't know. That's not necessarily an amazing call. We've heard amazing calls before.
Right.
But in this case, that was so silly, I thought, I'm glad I clicked. And then I had, buddies sending me this yesterday and thought, okay, this is something we should probably do.
That's a college soccer announcer, poor bastard.
He seemed pretty excited about it.
Maybe that's it, right? Not a lot of scoring. It kind of wakes them up.
That's exactly it.
Those soccer announcers, they do make it worth listening.
Yeah, he was excited about that.
Yeah.
He wet himself calling what the story refers to as a walk-off goal from beyond midfield. Stanford was playing, I think this is how you say it, Notre Dame in the college soccer tournament. And some Stanford kid, game tied at 2 goals apiece, I understand. That's got to be some kind of a record. Some Stanford kid, just as the clock is winding down, just launches this long kick from way the hell out there beyond midfield, and the Irish goalie couldn't track it. Ball went in the net as time expired. And as you heard, the play-by-play announcer went into a state of orgasmic delight.
Right there, it sounded messy.
Yep.
Right at that. That's where it sounded messy.
Man, he was struggling to get it all out. But they're calling it the miracle from midfield or some gimmick like that. Close game last night until the fourth quarter. Timberwolves kicked it in the ass and took out the Chicago Bulls last night. The Pigs did what most folks thought they could do, and that was beat the San Jose Sharks last night. And there was an NFL game on television last night, too.
That one was fun.
Yeah, there was. There was a game on last night.
I wish
Randy
I watched
Shaver
it.
and
After reading about it, I wish I would have watched it.
Yeah, it was good.
It was.
Didn't have too much of it.
It was on television. It was.
It was?
Yeah.
Well, kind of. It was on kind of television.
Yeah. It was on the internet or something, and one team and another. Randy Shaver, Andrew DePaola, and Purple Pick'em coming up here. I was just being silly. Yeah, Baltimore beat Cincinnati 35-34. I wasn't watching it, but everyone says it was just wonderful. Randy Shaver, Andrew DePaola, Purple Pick'em in a half hour. Stick around. Josh's News is next.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
It is that time of the year at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Winter's arrived, and with the holidays around the corner, it's the perfect time for Standard Heating's Black Friday Comfort Countdown Specials. And right now is the time to become a Smart Club member and get your furnace in top shape before winter comes. Schedule your tune-up, boost your indoor air quality, or grab huge deals on a new system. Do not wait. Visit standardheating.com today. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
When you have sports mixed with your pop culture, along with humor and celebrity interviews, your earbuds are enjoying The Rich Eisen Show. Terrell Davis, former NFL player for the Denver Broncos.
When I played, if I had to get a message out, it was probably through my agent, or I had to tell somebody in the media. Now, I can just tweet it. I can just put it on social media. You hear a lot of things that you don't want to hear, and then your family hears it, they tell you about it. So it's definitely a different environment.
Search for The Rich Eisen Show on YouTube or wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
It all started when my wife Karen, who worked for Quantum Computer Services, overheard Steve Case talking about adding a voice to the then upcoming AOL software in 1989. So she volunteered my voice, and on a cassette deck in my living room, I recorded the phrases that you've come to know. And what started off as a test has continued to this day.
The iconic voice of AOL's You've Got Mail message has been returned to sender. Elwood Edwards died Tuesday, just a day before his 75th birthday.
You've got mail.
Edwards was a mainstay at an Ohio TV station for years, working as a graphics expert and camera operator, among other roles. But it was in 1989 when he's found his claim to fame, earning a place in internet history as the voice behind American Online's famous You've Got Mail message. Elwood was asked to record just 4 simple lines: welcome, you've got mail, files done, and goodbye, and he earned $200 for his timeless voice work.
You've got mail.
AOL
It's
took
pretty
off.
good money back in those days, Josh.
$200?
$200. That took you a long ways in 1989.
Millions worldwide, of course, have heard his voice if they had email, which was a new concept at the time. Though his face wasn't seen, his voice gained him a unique, enduring celebrity status tied to AOL's early days. His employer announced he died of a long illness, though details of that illness remained unclear.
So he was that guy.
Yeah, he was that guy, and he went on, he worked at this TV station, he was an Uber driver, he made some appearances on late-night shows.
F me running.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that sound of AOL dialing up, that takes me back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
I didn't have that.
You never had AOL?
No.
Oh, God, just hearing those sounds, it's one of those just things that immediately takes me back to, middle school and being a kid.
My parents still have that as like their email address.
They still have AOL.com email addresses?
Yep.
That's incredible.
They got it from the free disc at Target.
Yeah, 500 hours free.
Yep.
You see those everywhere.
A central Minnesota sheriff's deputy who crashed his squad while under the influence of alcohol will be put on probation. The 38-year-old was found unresponsive in his crash squad July 18th.
That's not a good look for a cop.
No, especially when you're in your marked cruiser.
Yeah.
Witnesses reported he ran a stop sign in his police car, swerved all over the road before the crash. Another witness saw the squad car roll 5 or 6 times. Thankfully, he wasn't too hurt. He did have to be airlifted to a hospital. He refused a blood sample for obvious reasons, allegedly, and is okay now. A state trooper at the hospital noted an odor of alcoholic beverage coming from him, along with slurred speech and bloodshot, glassy eyes. He will be on probation for 2 years.
You're lucky he didn't kill someone, you stupid ass.
Yeah.
Gosh, he rolled his car. Oh.
A 59-year-old woman's been sentenced to jail time and probation after driving a school bus under the influence and veering off the road with nearly 50 students on board earlier this year.
Uh-oh.
Back in February, the bus went off the road in Rush City just before 8:15 a.m. Chisago County Sheriff's deputies quickly arrived at the scene and reported clear signs of impairment in the driver, leading to her arrest. Thankfully, despite the close call, none of the students were injured, which means we can write a country song about it and have our AI band Snickerdick perform it.
All right.
Well, it was 8 in the morning, not normally drinking time. But the school bus driver had her own drunk state of mind. With one hand on the wheel and the other on a bottle of wine. Oh, the tipsy bus driver, she ain't doing all that fine. She's the tipsy school bus driver, hitting each and every bump in the hood. We're not sure where she's going, but we're dang sure it ain't good. She's swerving and curving, got the kids freaking out in the rear, on the wildest school ride of the Rush City school year.
While the tipsy bus driver was initially sentenced to 364 days in jail, a judge opted to instead have her serve 15 days behind bars. The other 349 stayed for 4 years for probation.
I think you've created, you and Snickerdick, Josh, you've created another number one hit.
Yeah, that's a smash.
That was really great.
Hey, Snickerdick, they're a talented band.
If I was listening to the radio, I would turn that up.
Great songwriting, love the melody, this and that. Although I think it takes a lot more than a drunk school bus driver to scare the kids in Rush City.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think they see worse than that.
They've seen things.
You know. Other than that, that's a beautiful song.
Parents of children in the Joliffe Middle School, Virginia district were notified of explicit content accidentally shared in Anime Club. I didn't know there was such a thing as Anime Club. Parents received an emailed letter from the principal who said he was alerted Monday of an incident that occurred October 30th. During the Anime Club meeting, a staff member let students pick a new show or episode at random. The staff member didn't vet or preview the selections, and one episode contained sexually explicit content. Several minutes of the episode played before it was stopped. I don't believe it was the sponsor's intention to show this content, but it was very poor judgment to show something that hadn't been properly vetted for appropriateness, the principal said. He apologized for the lack of oversight, with the club sponsor now required to send parents a list of shows planned for upcoming Anime Club meetings.
I'm with you, Josh. I had no idea that there's been such a thing going on as Anime Club. I'm also surprised it took this long for porn to accidentally be shown at Anime Club. Because the only anime I ever see is anime porn.
So things like on Netflix, like the Castlevania cartoon, anybody see that?
Never saw it.
I was wondering if that would count as anime. I know like Crunchyroll, that's where you get your anime, correct?
Not sure it's a lost on me, Josh.
I don't know what the hell it is you're talking about, but I'll tell you what, you got a lot of heart.
I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, but I know a lot of people watch that Naruto, something like that.
That's
Naruto?
Anime?
Yeah.
I know there's people listening that are
You guys are just making up words now?
No.
Yeah, again, I'm just surprised it took this long for porn to be accidentally shown in a class like that.
Well, I was wondering about Castlevania because I watched a little of that. I loved the game as a kid.
Yeah.
And I was surprised how violent it was. And I didn't know a lot about anime, assuming that's what that was.
Yeah, I think it is.
20 massage therapists in Polk County, Florida were recently arrested for offering sex acts to undercover detectives in a sting operation called Operation Skin So Soft.
Weird.
I think they could have done better. Unless that's a reference I don't get. Maybe it's
a
genius reference.
It sounds familiar, Josh. It does.
Detectives went undercover at several massage parlors, and out of the 22 audited, 12 weren't following the law. Some were involved in illegal activities like prostitution.
Oh.
Sheriff Grady Judd explained the women arrested ranged from 31 to 64, and only one was local, with the rest frequently moving between locations. He detailed one case involving a 37-year-old woman who charged an undercover officer $60 for a massage and then attempted to engage in sexual acts, even blocking the door when he tried to leave.
Oh, really? She wouldn't take no for an answer?
No.
I will release your tension. Okay, that's interesting that she got so insistent about it, if that's a word.
As per usual, America's snarkiest sheriff described it in his usual colorful way.
They said might have been 5 foot tall. She wasn't as big as a popcorn fart, and she was trying to hold this man down.
Stop it.
So anyway, she obviously not only got arrested for prostitution, but a litany of other charges that included battery.
Another incident involved a 64-year-old woman who turned down the lights, brought out oil, and began massaging the detective in ways that, quote, cross legal boundaries.
And those places can be a lot of laughs. I know you're a fan of that Garrett Judd guy or whatever his name is, Josh.
Grady
but don't you think at that point right there, he was trying too hard?
Yeah, he tries too hard.
He was trying too hard. Let's throw that one out.
He does try too hard at times.
You don't say someone is no bigger than a popcorn fart.
I've never heard it used that way.
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
It's not the way to use that.
A 27-year-old guy found himself in some big trouble Wednesday over a petty theft charge and was arrested for something you probably didn't think you could steal, a lap dance. Never heard of such a thing. Apparently, Election Day turned into Erection Night for a Pennsylvania guy who slipped into a private dance room at a Clearwater, Florida strip club about 2:45 a.m. And when it came time to settle the bill, he tried sneaking out without paying. Once police caught up with the lap dance thief, who just got a bachelor's degree from a religious college, by the way, the judge ordered him to keep his distance from the club. By the way, that place has 55 TVs, 3 fully stocked bars, 30 private dance rooms, and a lineup of VIP suites.
Whoa.
That sounds like a pretty big strip club.
The Taj Mahal of Boom Boom Room was right there. Yeah, you can't get a dance and then think you can skip your way out without paying. That's how you get your ass kicked.
Yeah, and it was one of the private dances.
Right.
Oh, that's pricey, yeah.
Oh, I'm just surprised you got out of there without getting tuned up.
A 49-year-old Pennsylvania man was arrested after going nuts and stabbing his girlfriend because he hated her new haircut. According to court documents, he'd previously threatened to stab the woman if she cut her hair.
Police say that Carmen was worried about her safety after her boyfriend, Gall, threatened if she cut her hair.
The man reportedly hunted down his girlfriend, finding her at her brother's house Sunday afternoon to make good on that threat.
Good Lord.
Police arrived to find both the woman and her brother injured, with 2 other people barely escaping harm. Authorities found the suspect still at the scene, sitting in a car with a knife in hand.
No.
He didn't like her haircut.
Must have been a really terrible cut.
Yeah, geez, what? A girl can't get bangs?
The chilling horror thriller Heretic, starring Hugh Grant, is now in theaters. 2 young missionaries. Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. I didn't make sure my audio was ready. Sorry. 2 young missionaries find themselves at the mercy of a man whose devout exterior hides a twisted and deadly agenda. Also on the big screen, Elevation. Anthony Mackie stars in a post-apocalyptic monster movie where the planet's been overrun by creatures that have wiped out most of humanity, but for some reason, they can't go anywhere higher than 8,000 feet. And if you're into
what
more...
the hell?
I know, spooky. Spooky heebies and jeebies. And if you're into more family-friendly fare, the best Christmas pageant ever may just be right for you. The 6 wild siblings with a reputation as the town's worst kids crash the church's Christmas pageant in search of snacks. But when they take over the local church pageant during the holidays, they just might teach a shocked community the true meaning of Christmas. On the small screen this weekend, Bill Burr hosts Saturday Night Live.
Hey, handsome.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Who the hell do you think I'm talking? Look around the room a little
There's
bit.
a lot of guys here.
You mind if I interrupt? And you mind if I didn't mean to, but I kind of butted into your business earlier this morning. I saw you were trading text messages because, just if folks care, our text machine, it goes this way and it goes that way when folks send us messages. Sometimes we can see messages that aren't meant for us. And I ran into one, Josh, that wasn't meant for me. It was meant for you. And you and a listener were talking about a television show that you watched last night that was so bad you turned it off after 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah, it was terrible.
What was it? I didn't catch the name.
Old Ass.
Old.
Oh, really?
The way I pronounced that was silly. Old Ass.
Dang.
Oh, my old ass. Sorry.
I watched that and I liked it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't want to be on your bad side.
You did not like that. Josh walked away after 15 minutes.
I like anything with Audrey Plaza, though. So.
Oh, so anything with...
I absolutely love her. She's so good. And I thought it was cute. There was a moment, though, Josh, I didn't get to finish it all. So I turned on the last 30 minutes with my boyfriend, and he did not like it. So maybe I'm in the minority here.
Well, I'll tell you what. Once she got on there, Aubrey Plaza, once she joined the show, it definitely got better. But yeah, I was pretty disappointed. Now I feel shamed that you
We talked
that.
about it yesterday,
okay.
I think, right?
Yeah,
we talked about
the
big debut of this.
Well, what happened was I tuned in because it was also on Prime Video, and I'm like, I'm going to watch the football game. And then we started watching that, and I just decided this kind of sucks, and then we just moved on, and I kind of forgot about the football game. Yeah, my old ass.
Well, everybody's different.
Yeah, maybe I'll give it another shot since you liked it, Ashley.
That would mean a lot to me.
Well, like I said, it got a lot better when she was a part of it. Oh, and we were wondering about the Skin So Soft, Operation Skin So Soft. Thank you, brother and sister.
Yeah, what is that from? I knew I'd heard it Summers.
It's an Avon product, they said.
There you go.
So it was a reference to that. From like the 50s, people are saying.
I think I've maybe seen a jug of that, maybe in the friggin' wife's bathroom, actually.
That's pretty good. And you know what I should have just picked up on? A lotion reference. And I didn't. And I'm stupid, and I didn't like my old ass.
Why are you doing
I'm having a terrible day.
Why are you doing this to yourself?
But Nick called me handsome, so I can see the silver lining here. As I mentioned, Bill Burr, Saturday Night Live. Sunday on Paramount Plus, Yellowstone returns for its fall premiere to wrap up the 5th season.
Finally.
Montana, where the show is set, was admitted as the 41st state on this day 135 years ago, 1889.
That was a mistake.
I'd like to go to the state because of Yellowstone, which I know pisses off people who live in Montana. I know they're tired of it, but I want to go.
Oh, same here. It's so pretty there.
Yeah, it is.
Finally,
it's not that friggin' great.
It seems pretty great.
It's one of the places I went.
Overrated.
I'm reading a book now that takes place in Montana. I'll never go, but it sounds kind of cool. Finally, the first season of The Penguin waddles to a close Sunday on HBO und Max. The University of Minnesota Duluth men's hockey team is doing something really cool. They're hosting a special Adam Johnson Memorial Night on the 23rd to honor former player Adam Johnson, who passed away, of course, in October after a tragic on-ice event last year. The event, organized by the Adam Johnson Memorial Fund, will celebrate Adam's life and support scholarships in his name, including hockey camp scholarships and an academic scholarship for a Hibbing High School senior planning to attend UMD. The night will feature a commemorative T-shirt giveaway for the first 1,000 attendees, a jersey off my back auction for warm-up jerseys worn by the players, and an online auction for pro jerseys from Adam's former teammates. Hibbing Youth Hockey's Little Chippers will also take part in the evening celebrating Adam's hometown legacy. You can find more information on that event on 93x.com.
The Little Chippers are going to be there?
Yeah, I love the Little Chippers, don't you guys?
I've lost a lot of money betting on those games.
Have you really?
Yes, I have.
I hope you don't take it, hold any
Well, no,
hard
of
feelings
course not.
towards it.
I'm entertained. They play, the purest form of hockey. But when I used to drink a lot more and I'd go to the Wild games and then the Little Chippers would take the ice, I'd start throwing money around, betting on this player and that player. I lost my ass a few times.
I dig those guys.
It was my fault.
Sunday, Tracy Morgan turns 56. Chris Jericho will be 54 tomorrow.
Wow.
And today, April in the Sharknado movies, Tara Reid, 49.
Happy birthday, baby.
Good luck to all the deer hunters this weekend. And happy birthday to Christine and Bones Jesus. And that's 93X News.
The Minnesota Vikings interview.
Personal mile, 69. He was giving them the business.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Touchdown! Vikings win it!
Paula had a hand injury that will require a procedure to allow that thing to heal up. Probably is looking like a short-term IR candidate, which will, need to potentially have a long snapper in the building.
Friday morning. She's a Friday. Not that days of the week matter to old, angry retirees, right, Randy Shaver?
Sure. To me, every day is Saturday.
Doesn't friggin' matter to you anymore, lucky bastard. Randy, welcome our bro, Andrew DePaola, to the friggin' show.
Oh, good.
Vikings long snapper Andrew DePaola. How you doing, bruh?
Good morning, guys. Good morning. How we doing?
Good. Thank you for joining us. I mean, like Nick said, the question is, how are you doing?
Sucks what happened.
Yeah, really?
I'm good. I'm doing good, I mean, it's part of the game, and everyone's got to deal with them at some point. You just kind of hope that it's not as, serious as it could be. But, here we are. Time to move on and rest up and heal and kind of figure out where we go from here.
Well, yeah, it's a real crappy deal. What exactly happened? What are you dealing with?
So something with my hand. I made the tackle. No big deal. I made the tackle. That's not the point, though. I made the tackle and then, banged my hand, and I was like, okay, this feels funny. Felt weird, and then kind of went over to the sideline, had them look at it. They cranked on it a good bit. They wiggled it. They did some stuff to my hand, and really wasn't causing me any pain. So I was like, all right, let's just kind of finish the game and get through it, and figure it out post game. And that's kind of what we did. Took some images, kind of seeing what's going on. So I've got another appointment today with the doc to kind of hopefully maybe get a better, clearer answer on what's going on. But that's kind of where we're at right now.
And this is your snapping hand. If this was your non-snapping wiping hand, you'd play the game, right? Or is it to the point where they wouldn't let you go out on the field no matter what hand was injured?
That's a great question. I think kind of that's like the conversation we'd have with the doctors and the trainers, and then the coach. I mean, honestly, like me, I'm trying to play no matter what. I was like, whatever, no big deal. We'll just get through it. It's kind of part of the game. And then at some point, you need people who are a little bit smarter than you to tell you, hey, maybe you shouldn't go back in. Hey, maybe we should sit you out for a couple weeks. Stuff like that. So, I mean, I definitely want to be out there. I definitely want to be out there. I'll just say that.
Oh, yeah.
So is there something broken, or is it just strained, or did you have to have surgery? What exactly are you looking at?
I think that we're going to get some of those answers today when I go see the specialist, and we'll figure out kind of exactly what's going on. But like some of the strength tests came back, obviously not good. And then, after the game, I think the adrenaline's running during the game, so everything feels a little bit better. You come in the next day and you're like, hey, there's a couple more bumps and bruises and some soreness that wasn't there yesterday. So I think they saw it and kind of were like, all right, maybe we got to make a little bit of a decision here. So, I have another appointment today, and hopefully I kind of get some more answers today and a little more clarity on what exactly is going on.
Well, that sucks for you, Andrew, and we're sorry this had to happen. But like you said, it's part of the game. You've had a pretty good run overall in your career, haven't you? When it comes to injuries,
I'm not going to be upset about it. I've done pretty well as far as injury bugs concerned. I think early in my career, did both my ACLs. Only missed time for one, so I kind of got lucky there. And now this one, where I'm going to miss some time for this one, but. Honestly, looking back, I'm lucky. No complaints here.
Did you tell that guy that's taking your place, did you tell him to not get comfortable?
No. Not yet.
Do you know the guy? What's his name? McQuaid? Is that the name? You know the guy?
Yeah, Jake McQuaid. I do. I've known him for a while. Great guy, awesome dude. He's a good guy. I'm glad he's in the building.
But not that good of a guy.
Not that good of a guy.
Yeah, you hope he kind of muffs one, don't you?
Like a good enough type of guy.
In my opinion, I think he's a really good guy. I'll leave your guys' opinions to yourselves over there.
We're looking out for you, man.
You just let us know if you need us.
Yeah. But like Dana said, let's say Sunday this McQuaid just sprays one 10 yards over the head of the punter or the holder. If the cameras catch you on the sideline, you're smiling a little bit, right?
No, I want everything to go as smooth as possible so that Ryan still does well. I want Parker to do well. And ultimately, I want the team to do well. There's not going to be any smiles from me over there if that were to happen.
You're smiling for you.
You're a bigger man than I would get it. So you'll be traveling with the boys down to Florida?
Not this weekend.
Okay. You got to see the doctor and whatnot.
Yeah, there's still a couple more things they want me to do back here. And they're just easier to do them back here from the comforts of home.
Well, normally when the injured players travel with the team, What's asked of them? Can you guys stay out a little later, play some cards, drink some beer? You're injured guys. You're not being relied on for it. Is there? Can the injured guys kind of F off and be like, what? What do you expect from us? We're injured guys.
That's actually a great question.
You wouldn't know, would you?
And to be honest with you, I don't. Yeah, I actually don't know. Because I do know a couple guys who are injured do travel more so to kind of just because they will be coming back. So they're like, well, we want you to keep the routine, know how we do things, just kind of get a feel for what the game day vibe is like and what your responsibilities would be. But as far as like curfew goes, I actually don't know. I don't know how that is handled.
Well, man, maybe next time you guys go to Vegas or something, you're injured.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? And you stay out at Cheetah's all night, and, I don't know, maybe they do get a little bit of a break. Andrew DePaola joining us this morning. Not going to be able to play this weekend, but hopefully you come back quick as hell. Obviously, your hand strength is important. Ashley and I, just the other day, we were in one of our old studios, Josh, and we found that grip strength.
Oh, the tester?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
We found that grip strength tester sitting around. We used it on air a number of years ago. Why in God's name we were testing our grip strength, I don't know. It was probably a masturbation joke or something that went too far. But do you have any idea, Andrew DePaola, you ever squeeze one of those sumbitches and it says you have 8,000 pounds of you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. You're talking about like the ones that are like
digital?
Like rectangular and you squeeze like the handle?
Yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it gives you the number?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Do you have the all-time record or anything like that?
I don't think so. I think it was like 108 maybe, 102.
I'm glad you remembered. Will someone go grab that out of that garbage studio? Because, Josh, do you remember why we were utilizing this gimmick?
I think we were talking about opening jars.
Oh, wait. I think.
Oh, sure.
I remember it now. There was like some sort of publication that said your grip strength can determine how healthy you are.
Okay.
And if you had a weak grip strength, that means you might die sooner than somebody who had a stronger one. That's what it was.
I'm glad it was morbid and not perverted.
Yeah, no, it wasn't perverted. I'm sure perverted jokes were told or texted.
So someone went to run and get that machine. It's exactly what you were saying, Andrew. It's got a little handle on it, and you squeeze this trigger as hard as you can. It'll give you a measurement of the amount of pressure that your hand is able to create. So you really think your best memory is you were somewhere in the neighborhood of like 108 pounds of pressure or something, whatever the hell that means?
I think so. Okay. I'm pretty sure I did one this summer when I went back to Rutgers. He just pulled one out and had me do it, and I was like, all right, let me just squeeze it real quick.
But what about when you're just sitting around the house? Do you have one of those squeezy things? They were hot in the 80s.
I remember the 80s. Yeah, all the tough guys had those on TV.
Oh, yeah.
What do they call those squeezy things, Andrew?
Man, I don't even know.
Yeah, it's just like...
So these are like the metal ones, right?
Yeah. The metal squeezy thing for grip strength. At any rate, I have this thing in my hand. I'm going to try to get it to work. Let's do this again. Let's measure some of our grip strengths here. Randy Shaver, you have any predictions as to what kind of heat I can bring with this grip strength?
I guess I don't know what the scale is.
Well, Apollo's a 108. Or
DePaula's a 108. What do you think I can put together here?
Oh, gosh, you're probably a 98-pound weakling, so I'll probably say 68.
Well, first things first, I could beat the living hell out of you at any drop of any hat. But I'll go ahead anyway, and I'll squeeze it.
Oh.
109.
Let me see.
I'm kidding, of course. Let's see if I can do this. I think the batteries are dying in this pig. 93.4. F me running, Andrew DePaola. Tell that McQuaid guy I got 93.4.
I got 102.8.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy balls. Pass this around the office, and let's see if anyone can top Andrew. What are you serious? What are you doing?
I'm trying again, see if I can beat my score.
You're trying again to see if you can beat your top score?
I should have just stopped after the first one.
The second one didn't go so well?
Second one, embarrassing.
What did the second one turn out?
78.
Well, you're tired.
Here we go, 108.
You're now 108. We don't know where Josh is at. He's all over the board.
I think this thing is kind of stupid.
I think the batteries are.
Yeah, and you have to put in your age, too.
And I got it on Amazon for like $14.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
put in your age?
Oh.
Yeah.
Did they give you some, Andrew, did they give you some pretty sweet painkillers or what?
I haven't got any yet.
Because there's people here that want them.
We know some people if you're looking to sell.
Well, you don't have to be secretive about it. I want whatever you got left over. They haven't given you any painkillers? What's your pain level at right now?
I'm like 0. I'm not really in any
You
pain.
don't feel any pain at all, so it doesn't hurt when you sleep on it or when you do anything with it?
No. I've gotten pretty lucky.
Are you at least milking it to get out of doing things around the house with the kids? Like, oh, hon, I'd love to, but my hand, you know?
My wife listens, so no. Nope.
When we talked about you a couple days ago and your injury, your unfortunate injury, and we talked about this new guy coming in to take your place, Big Jake McQuaid, I was wondering how many of you are there? How many long snappers are there available? I would think it's a much smaller crew than, say, if you're looking for a wide receiver. My God, you can find running backs. They come out of... But you have such a specific skill, I imagine there isn't a massive pool of dudes to choose from when a long snapper goes down. Am I right?
Yeah,
About that? I bet if there's a long snappers convention, you probably just need you know what I'm talking? The smaller hotel party room, as opposed to quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers. Everybody does that. Long snappers are more of a elite crowd, if you ask me.
Enlightened.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the pool of people that are available is probably, a little bit on the small end if you compare it to, those other positions. And then, I think the pool of people that have game experience is even smaller. So,
right.
So, yeah, I think you're absolutely right on that.
That feels kind of cool, doesn't it? You should feel kind of special for what you do for a living.
I do feel special. In a way.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool.
You should.
We think you should. What else is going on around here with Andrew DePaola? I don't know. Toys for Tatas is November 22nd at Rick's Cabaret. I don't know what.
If you can, just kind of keep this injury lingering a little bit, you could probably.
Oh my God.
Our Toys for Tatas toy drive, which you've probably heard about. We probably bothered you about it in the past.
It's for the kids. It's a charity event.
It sounds like a really sweet event that you guys put on.
It is.
It's
a lot of fun.
We'll see you there.
Would love to.
Well, it is.
I would love to check that out.
It really is.
Your tone and your words are at odds.
Remember, his wife is listening.
Oh, good point, Randy. Yeah, good point.
We like to help. So, we like to help people.
Of course you do. The Vikings are a charitable ball club. Everybody knows that. You wouldn't be the first pro athlete to show up.
That's true.
I think that those names that will go down in history as the first professional athletes to join us for our Toys for Tatas toy drive, because this has been going on for 25-some years. I think the answer would be Nick Schultz and Derek Bugard.
That's right. They showed up together.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm. The Boogeyman was in the house, man.
And if we could, it didn't take too long for them to be ushered to the VIP section, did it?
No.
Everyone was pretty excited that they showed up.
Nick Schultz was a handsome dude.
Oh, my gosh.
And so, there was, the ladies stopped their everything when Nicky Schultz walked in, and the dudes stopped misbehaving when Derek Bugard walked in.
I bet, yeah.
Exactly.
Remember when Gilbert Godfrey came, too?
I don't remember any of that. No, of course I do.
That was legendary.
Awesome.
2 years in a row. He broadcast with us. God dang,
cool.
he was good.
Derek Bugard, if you don't know, Andrew DePaola was an NHL enforcer for many years, an NHL enforcer. Unfortunately, he died tragically. He was an NHL enforcer. You ever watch that on your television? Is that, you think you could, if you could figure out the skating part, you think you could hand somebody their ass out there on the ice if you were asked to?
But see, figuring out the skating part is like the big part of that question, you know? Like
that would be the hurdle. That would be the big hurdle.
That's the hurdle. Like, I don't know if there's any other hurdles after that one. Man, I just need to figure out how to stand up on skates. If I can figure out how to skate and do well, still probably not. No, probably couldn't do it.
Randy Shaver's right there with you. He's an Iowegian.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we put salt on ice. We don't skate on it, so.
Yeah.
I love that saying.
I think it'd be fun to get the two of you out on the ice just to have someone give you a lesson or something.
Yes. Parisi gives skating lessons.
Skating with a chair, you know.
Talk about some ankle burning, man. Just ankle burning from the ass man. That would be something to see. Well, Andrew, again, we're sorry about your situation. We'd love to see you out there on Sunday. But, you know, things happen. We know you'll give her hell and come back quick. And, you know, you're not going out of town this weekend with the ball club. If you get bored, give us a friggin' phone call.
Shoot, I might have to.
Yeah.
I might have to. Hey, and next time something cool like someone's birthday happens on the day I come on the show, give me a heads up. Let me know. That's good. That's cool stuff.
What are we talking about?
Andrew's mad that nobody said it was my birthday last week when he was on.
Oh,
not a mention, not a word.
Well,
it's you time.
Being upset.
It's you time. You're right.
I felt bad. I was like, man, I was on the show talking to everybody and no one said anything. I couldn't even say happy birthday in person.
No, don't feel bad at all.
In person over the telephone. Well, that speaks to what kind of guy you are. You're regretting that you didn't get a chance to say happy birthday to Ash. Well, it's
you could make it up to her at Rick's Cabaret 2 weeks from today.
There you go.
My God, is it already 2 weeks from today?
It is.
Andrew DePaola, it's Tara Reid's birthday.
Nice. Good.
Okay.
Today?
Yeah, today.
49 today.
Today. Wow, 49?
Yeah, isn't that nuts?
That's my childhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Andrew knows what I'm saying. Oh, how's your kicker friend doing, too? He's got something wrong with his quadricep. How's your kicker pal doing? Willie?
Oh, he's good. He's good.
Okay.
He's doing good. He's hanging in. He's a tough kid. He's a tough kid.
We were wondering, so does he cut his hair now? He wasn't going to cut his hair until he missed a kick. Does it count if you're injured and he misses? How's he handling it?
You know what's funny is I was talking to him yesterday. He did like the little hair flip with his like head, and then he brushed it with his hand. And in my head, I go, I wonder if he's going to cut it now. And I just didn't ask because we were in the middle of another conversation, but that did cross my mind. I'm going to have to find that out today.
We were wondering that too.
Man, I'm jealous of you.
I think that's on a lot of people's minds right now.
That's a big question. Adam Schefter broke into programming to let us know.
Town to town. We'll wish him well also, if you don't mind, Andrew. And, of course, like I said already, get well soon, and we'll talk to you next week.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
You bet. Andrew DePaola, Vikings long snapper. Things happen. He got himself hurt, but he'll be back. Okay, let's pull an unwilling listener into this mess. He's our latest purple picker, Randy Shaver. Let's hear what he thinks about this weekend's supposed big game. And what a thrill this is. Welcome to the show. He's a wild and crazy guy. Welcome to the show. I'm not kidding. Steve Martin. Hello, Steve.
What's up?
What's up, dude?
Not much, man. How are you?
We're doing well. Randy Shaver, this guy's name really is Steve Martin.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an honor.
Have you been hearing about this since you were about 6 and you're wildly exhausted by the jokes?
Yeah, I've been called the comedian, the jerk, stuff like that.
Yeah. Navin Johnson. People want you to sing the King Tut song and whatnot. People want you to put an arrow through your head and play the banjo. We also know him as Ojibwe Jesus. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the program. Thank you very much for getting involved in the Purple Pick'em setup. We're looking to win you some money. Now, folks are wondering how they get involved. You listen during the 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. hours like Ojibwe Jesus did. You listen for that keyword to text, and you'll be entered to guess the halftime and final score of the next upcoming Minnesota game. You get either score right, and you win $1,000. If you get both, you'll win $100 grand is how you say it, plus a trip to the Big championship game, and it's all brought to you by the wonderful people at Xfinity Mobile. So, Giveaway Jesus, Steve Martin. What are we going to be looking at halftime in the Minnesota-Jacksonville game?
Halftime, we're going to go Minnesota 17, Jacksonville 10.
Now, it sounds like you haven't thought about this at all.
No.
You really had. This is the first year. 17-10, and I want to say that's been a very common answer. I mean, this might be the liquor talking, but I feel as if 17-10. Okay, you're saying Minnesota 17, Jacksonville 10, and what about when she's all wrapped up, Ojibwe Jesus?
We're going to go with Minnesota 31, Jacksonville 17.
31 points on the board for Minnesota and 17 for Jacksonville. Hey, it sounds good to us, and I think we've met you before in person. And if there's anybody who could use a few extra bucks, it's you by your appearance. So we're rooting for you extra hard this weekend.
Sounds good. And one last thing, Randy, I'm the one that gave you that traditional lacrosse stick.
You're the one who gave Randy. Randy, he says he's the one who gave you that traditional lacrosse stick.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, I know you talked about lacrosse in the past and stuff like that, so I figured, hey, gift him that.
You're a good man, Ojibwe Jesus.
Randy Shaver,
don't listen to Nick. You have a wonderful appearance. You're a good-looking guy.
Thanks, guys.
Randy, thank you, Ojibwe Jesus, and good luck. And thanks for getting involved in Purple Pick'em. Randy,
thank
you. You're welcome. Randy, have you stood on your front porch and threatened neighborhood kids with that traditional lacrosse stick?
Only on Halloween.
Only on Halloween. He says, what do you say again? 31-17. Purple Pick'em. Yep. Listen during 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. hours for that keyword. Again, thank you to Xfinity Mobile. It says here that long-haired kid, Trevor Lawrence, the Jaguars quarterback, is unlikely to play in Sunday's game against the Vikings. It seems that the boys will face a fella called Mac Jones.
Oh, is that the former New England starting quarterback?
Yep. Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. Not Joey Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is dealing with a left shoulder injury. Yeah, not Joey Lawrence. He was on Blossom. And he had a couple of hit singles, too. He did.
He was popular for a bit there.
Love that show.
Well, the Jaguars weren't exactly setting the world on fire with Trevor Lawrence on the field. Maybe this will help their chances. Jones, it says right here, was traded from New England to Jacksonville over the offseason, and he hasn't yet started a game for that ball club. Several other members of the Jacksonville roster are listed on the injury report. So is this going to be a friggin' cakewalk or what?
It should be. I mean, the Vikings, I don't even know what the line is. I think they're only like a 4-point favorite, but I really think the Vikings, we talked about this stretch of games, how winnable these 3 next games are. So I would hope that the Vikings don't have much of an issue in winning this game on Sunday.
Vikings are -7, favored by 7 points.
All right. Do you guys remember that Joey Lawrence would always tie a flannel shirt around his waist?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That was a trend for a bit there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, I think they should probably curb stomp that football club. Now, Randy Shaver, I'm not Brad Ryder, so don't yell at me. A few weeks ago, you got really angry at Brad Ryder when he started talking a little too far into the future, didn't you, Randy? You kind of laid into.
You talking about the playoffs?
What was it that angered you? Yes, it was maybe week 1 or 2, and Brad Ryder talked about, well, if they win this many games and they go to the playoffs and they play this team and you got mad. I'm not Brad.
Well,
you can't talk to me the way you talk to Brad.
Not only did I get mad, I actually wrote it down on the calendar in front of me just so I could remember it, so I could give Brad crap if it doesn't happen.
Oh, you're awesome.
So, yes, I did write down, Brad says Vikings make playoffs when they were 4-0.
Okay. You wrote that out. You are a petty son of a bitch.
I
wrote that
I wrote it down. So, of course I did. I didn't want to forget.
So you could you could use
Any
it against.
chance I get a chance to correct Brad Ryder, I'm going to do it.
Okay. We all understand. Brad obviously unable to join us this morning. He had something going on. So, I'm kind of pulling a Brad Ryder here.
Okay.
I saw a headline. I didn't read anything beyond the headline because it doesn't matter right now. But it says here, Sam Darnold, the current Vikings quarterback, will cut ties with the Vikings after this season and land a huge contract with the New York Giants or the Tennessee Titans.
I can see that.
What do you think of all that?
I can see that because I think that, it's pretty much a given that if McCarthy is healthy, he likely will be. He's the quarterback of the future for this club. So, regardless of how they finish, too, even if they were to go deep into a playoff run, I still don't know if the Vikings would invest in Sam Darnold. I don't know if they would.
Look, because they got that kid hanging around.
Yeah, they used a first-round draft choice for a quarterback, and so when you do that, more times than not, you've invested a lot of money and a lot of effort into that pick, and so I think Darnold knows that too, and good for him if he finishes this season strong, he sets himself up financially wherever he goes, and that's for a guy that's bounced around the league, and then to redeem himself in some way to be able to get a nice payday, that's good for him. So,
this isn't anything new. A lot of folks from the damn get-go knew. As soon as the kid went down, and I can't think of his name now, Jeremy something.
J.J. McCarthy.
J.J. McCarthy. As soon as he went down, damn near everybody in town knew, okay, we'll try this Darnold thing, but next season they got to hand it over to the young kid. But the new development, I guess, if that's what you want to call it, is there are specific teams being pinpointed. And obviously, the New York Giants, their quarterbacks are terrible.
Yeah, they got quarterback issues. Daniel Jones and Will Levis. Levis has been injured, and he's a young guy. So I'm not so sure that Tennessee's willing to part ways quickly. But Daniel Jones, I think his time is very limited in New York. I just don't see him. It's kind of like Mac Jones. Mac Jones, he was a Belichick draft choice, and everybody thought he was going to be a great player and in that system, and it just never happened. And now he's with Jacksonville. So I think Daniel Jones' fate's kind of in the same way.
Do you have the calendar in front of you? What exactly did you write down on the calendar to use later on Brad Ryder?
I wrote it down. I wrote it down for the month of December, just because that's when we're going to start talking about playoffs. And I just wrote, Brad says Vikings make playoffs 4-0, and then I wrote, I put a smiley face, and then under that I put in parenthesis, idiot.
Dude.
I love it. That brings up a story, actually, and I hope you enjoy it. As you guys know, my dad checked out coming up on a year ago, and also a few months ago, sadly, one of his best friends also died, a guy named Lenny. And I told this story at Lenny's celebration of life. So my dad and Lenny split this fishing shack up north, and of course we made a lot of family trips up there to go fishing. My brother and I would go with my dad, and Lenny's family would come with him. We had some great times up there. But there were times when my dad and Lenny would just go, the two of them. And I noticed after a while, when I'd get up to the cabin, that it was usually Lenny would write something on a calendar detailing what happened while my dad and Lenny were fishing together up there in the middle of nowhere. And it would be something like, John caught 6 walleyes, and then there'd be nothing for a couple days. And then the next calendar, Lenny wrote, something like, had a few beers with Larry and Jack, whatever they were doing up there. And I went up there, and I'm reading the calendar, and there was one note that Lenny wrote on the calendar that I took a direct interest in, and I had to ask my dad about it, because Lenny wrote simply on one calendar date, he wrote, born pissed on my sleeping bag. I asked my dad about it, and he said, yes, it was a true story. There was an NFL game last night that turned out to be pretty exciting. The Baltimore Ravens beat the Cincinnati Bengals by 1 point. Cincinnati had a lead. It went nowheres. There were some exciting touchdowns. I was watching the Timberwolves, so I didn't see it, but everyone seems to think this was a
well.
Should have been a
Cincinnati chance to win the game. They missed a 2-point conversion after they scored the touchdown to get within a point of Baltimore. But
is that right?
Jamar Chase had a monster night. I mean, 11 catches, 264 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Dude.
Burrow throws for over 400.
That was crazy.
And they lose, which is brutal for them because now they're 4-6, which they're the best 4-6 team in the NFL. It's not even close. I mean, and it's a monster win for Baltimore. I think if I have this right, didn't Baltimore start the season 0-2 or 0-3?
Mm-hmm. Oh God!
Yeah. So they've really roared back, and but that fourth quarter last night, there were 34 points scored in the fourth quarter alone last night in that game, which is crazy.
I'm writing this down on my calendar. Randy says Bengals are best 4-6 team in the NFL, and in parentheses, I'm writing idiot.
Well, he's technically right because they're the only 4-6 team in the league right now.
I'm kidding. I don't know what I'm talking about. Saquon Barkley got tested by the NFL immediately after his backwards-ass hurdle from the other day.
Get that piss text yet?
I got it right away.
Tested you for sure.
I got drug tests right after the game.
I bet you do. I bet you do.
The rump jump.
Boy, that sounds like an obnoxious podcast.
Is that what they call it? The rump jump?
Yeah, that's what I've heard it called.
Backwards ass hurdle, rump jump, whatever you want to call it. He says as soon as the game was over, he got tested for drugs, PEDs. And that was the Air It Out podcast. Remind me to skip that.
Of course.
In the near future. Do we care that Travis Kelce got trolled on Jeopardy? Do we care? Is it
don't
funny?
Care.
I guess
I know, Randy Shaver, I'm right with you with not caring at all about either Kelce. But is it funny enough to play on the radio?
Are You Smarter Than a Celebrity is hosted by this man, who's maybe more famous as a boyfriend than as a 3-time Super Bowl champ. Derek.
Who's Travis Kelce?
Correct.
That might bother the guy a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
That's what they call trolling. He's more popular as a boyfriend than as a multiple Super Bowl champion. Is that what they said?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Golden Gopher football, who have really looked great the last few weeks. They play.
Yes, they have.
We should have brought this up to Andrew DePaola. They play at Andrew DePaola's alma mater. They play at Rutgers tomorrow, 11 o'clock in the morning type of a thing.
Yeah, morning game tomorrow. And that they're going up against their former quarterback, Callicamanis, or whatever his name is.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yep, he's the starter for, or at least he has been the starter for Rutgers. I'm assuming he's playing tomorrow.
Well, that's interesting. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Callicamanis is their quarterback. Okay.
Yeah.
11 o'clock in the morning. You should, at least from what I understand. I haven't seen Rutgers play football. Why would anyone watch Rutgers play football? But everyone's saying this should be a win for the fellas, and they move on to much tougher competition. But
yeah, they got Penn State and Wisconsin down the road yet. So
that the word is it should be a victory, but that trap has been fallen into before.
Sure.
Was this for real, Josh? So a night or two ago, a day or two ago, ESPN is doing one of the millions of, we're broadcasting live from the tailgate party. Everywhere you look on television now, the football people have to be broadcasting live from the tailgate party, and they try to put together some gimmick, and it's kind of like everyone's mimicking the Inside the NBA show, and everyone's mimicking these live from the tailgate party football shows. So ESPN put on one of these gimmicks at the Coastal Carolina Appalachian State football game. They're broadcasting from the tailgate party. And the Coastal Carolina head football coach, a guy named Tim Beck, shows up. And so he's there with the announcers. At one point or another, they passed around some cans of beer, cracked the tops, and apparently, unless it was a work, the Coastal Carolina football coach chugged a full beer before he coached the ball game.
All right, we're going to finish it off with a crazy sister beer.
Do we got to rinse it down with a blonde ale?
Yeah, you have to. Sorry about that. We're out of water.
There's audio of the setup. Now, of course, it's only one beer. One beer shouldn't really hurt anybody, but in today's climate, the way everyone judges everyone for every damn thing, did he really chug a beer on television before he coached a football game? Because there's so many people who would come out the woodwork and say, well, that was a bad example for the students or the children or this or that. So what do you think? Did it look real to you, Josh?
It looked real. You could see the video on 93x.com, but you're right. I was a little surprised. I wonder if he got carried away or...
Because the crowd started chanting chug, chug, chug as soon as Coach got his hands on a beer.
Or maybe it wasn't real beer.
Yeah.
It could have been near beer. It could have been...
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, but I did find it kind of interesting for all the reasons that I listed, because so many people could just come unglued on the internet about how this is promoting alcoholism or the children and the example that you set and this.
Yeah,
and
it surprised me too. I hear what you're saying there.
Dude looked like he knew what he was doing, and I guess he's I guess he's a real character, this Tim Beck. He's just kind of a wild card, and everybody likes him there wherever Coastal Carolina plays football. I'm guessing somewhere near the coast of one of the Carolinas. I did think it was kind of funny that one of the announcers, I don't know who he is or his background, Matt Berry, one of the announcers, I don't know if you heard it there in Josh's audio, when they handed him a beer, he took just a tiny sip, and he said, I went to Arizona State. I don't need to prove anything. That's a good line. All right, so, whatever. It's a fun video. Is that up on our website?
Yes.
It's a fun video. I wanted to make sure I didn't break long-standing tradition. I won't. It's been a tradition for many years now to pass this message along, Randy Shaver. It's opening weekend for deer hunters, don't you know, Randy?
Okay.
And I received this message again for I don't know how many years in a row now. Rectal Arson Jesus has texted in to say, please send my friendly yearly reminder that I enjoy pleasuring myself in my tree stand while deer hunting.
Oh my gosh, I forget about this every year.
I will. I almost screwed it up, but Rectal Arson Jesus, I never ever want to break that tradition, and I thank you again for passing that message along.
Because there will come a day where he's no longer able to do that.
You're exactly right.
Oh my God.
You feel pretty upset if you left a year out.
Gotta fit
You
it
just
in when
never
you can.
know when it's your last time jerking off in a deer stand.
That is just crazy. It's going to be
He's
too
right.
cold this year, dude.
He'd have to write it on his calendar.
Can you imagine?
Off in deer stand today.
Can you imagine how disappointed the deer would be if he doesn't do that?
It's generational tradition for these.
That's correct.
She was a close game until the fourth quarter last night, Randy Shaver. That's when the Timberwolves kicked it in the ass and took over the Chicago.
Great fourth quarter. 45 points in the fourth quarter last night.
They got the victory by the final of 135 points to, 135 points to 119. Anthony Edwards was a big part of that fourth quarter whooping. He finished
Gobert was huge. Rudy Gobert was huge in the fourth quarter last night.
He actually
played great.
He looked like a coordinated big man last night.
Yeah.
When normally he kind of looks like a baby that just learned to walk. Rudy looked coordinated. He was catching some of these more elaborate alley-oops, and he how should I say this? He was very evasive, even driving to the basket. He had a hell of a night.
Yeah. Jaden McDaniels shot the ball well last night, which always helps for the Wolves' cause when McDaniels can knock down shots. So it was a very, very nice win last night in Chicago.
Back to sex acts in a deer stand.
Yeah.
Tatted Mama Sheezus texted in and said, I've had 3 kids, all 3 conceived in a deer stand, honestly, she said.
Dan, you have a nice one.
Yeah.
Nice what?
That's an enclosed deer stand.
Well, you don't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Is one of them named Buck?
Oh, good question. Yeah, are any of them deer related?
Oh, Hunter.
Or
would be good.
Hunter, yeah.
Very good question.
I knew a guy named Buck. He was where it's at.
You know what? Same here, Nick. And he's probably one of the coolest people I've ever known.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't his real name. It was his nickname, but everyone called him Buck. And if you're a Wayzata Legion drinker, you know that he always said, "And we thank you for your support." All right. So Vukovic and Kobe White, they're very good for the Chicago Bulls, but they ran out of steam. The Wolves had the better legs in the fourth. Mike Conley had a good game. Julius Randle, like you said, Rudy. They shot 70% from the field in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they played great.
And it's the first time the Wolves have won at Chicago in 5-6 years. Next up, they host the Portland Trail Blazers tonight. A college basketball player got ejected. He sack-tapped an opponent.
Oh, you can't do that.
It was very clear, too. This is up on 93x.com.
Oh, yeah. That was not an accident.
No, he went out of his way for this.
Not a punch, not a slap or a poke. It was a tappy-tap like all the young guys did to each other in the early 2000s. It was a very trendy thing. It was shocking for me to see. I've told the stories before. But all the guys in there, let's just tap each other. It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But this was a game between Grand Canyon University and Fullerton. Ooh. A Fullerton forward by the name of Davis Bynum sack-tapped a Grand Canyon player as the dude was following through on a three-point attempt. Ref saw it. Flagrant 2, ejected him from the game.
Wow, I don't understand what did he think he was going to do when he did that? I mean,
they can't help themselves, the young guys. They think that's the funniest thing in the world now is to touch each other's genitalia.
Yeah, but he's not even laughing. I think he's trying to distract the guy when he's shooting.
Well, of course he was. Of course he was.
He'll think twice next time he takes a three-pointer.
Yeah.
No, he won't. That's what you're going to get from these young players who grew up idolizing a moron dick puncher like Draymond Green, I think.
Yeah.
Man, Bear Pigs did what we expected them to do. They beat the San Jose Sharks last night, 5-2, if you count empty net goals. Matt Bordy, how do you say his name?
Boldy?
He scored a goal, 2, if you count empty. Again, you got to factor in the empty netters. The Russian kid put 3 assists into the books. Zuccarello, Brodin, they got on the board. Boldy's legitimate goal, the one where the opposition had a goalie on the ice. That was a power play goal, and the Pigs have been struggling to make things happen with the man advantage lately. Maybe that's a good sign. Yeah. Macklin Celebrini, the top pick of the 2024 NHL draft, playing for San Jose. He scored both goals for the Sharks. He's the youngest NHL player, and he scored against Marc-Andre Fleury, who's the oldest player.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
How old is Celebrini?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm going to guess 18, but I don't know.
Okay. Wow. That's impressive.
And Fleury is...
They're so bad, though, right? I mean, San Jose's they've been bad for quite a few years.
I don't hear good things. There
was no one in the stands either. Absolutely no one there.
Next up, the Pigs play the Anaheim Ducks on the road tonight. Golden Gopher hockey dudes are at Wisconsin all weekend.
Celebrini's 18.
Wow.
Life. And life, you got it, they used to say at the Skid Row shows. Do we want to play for Randy Shaver, the college soccer announcer? Do you like a over-dramatic call, Randy Shaver?
Sure. I'm always into over-dramatic calls.
All right. I know you pretty well. This is a college soccer game, and it was pretty extraordinary what this kid pulled off. College soccer game, a tournament game, this counts for something. Stanford is playing Notre Dame. The game is tied. The clock is winding down, and they're calling this a walk-off goal because a kid kicked the stinking soccer ball from beyond midfield. He looked at the clock, and I know some of you are saying, clock? Yeah, I guess in some forms of soccer they keep a scoreboard and a clock.
College soccer it counts down, and when it hits 0, it's done. There's no stoppage time.
So this dude just, oh, God, there's only 1 second left. He kicks the ball somehow. I mean, from beyond midfield. Somehow the goalie for the Irish just never tracked it. The ball goes in, and this announcer had an orgasm.
Here's a Hail Mary of a shot that...
Come on.
So good.
I don't know what happened there.
Oh, man.
I mean, can you blame the guy? He's a college soccer announcer. He's just desperate for something to allow him to cut loose. Wouldn't you say, Josh?
Oh, yeah. I think, yeah, it was just breaking up the boredom there.
Yeah, and he took advantage. He took
made
advantage.
a mess.
He did. There were no survivors. Randy Shaver, you go ahead and have a wonderful weekend. Appreciate your help as we always do, and we'll talk to you on Monday morning.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Blooded pimp bastard that you are. Absolutely unbelievable. We'll be back in a few minutes here on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
It is that time of the year at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Winter's arrived, and with the holidays around the corner, it's the perfect time for Standard Heating's Black Friday Comfort Countdown specials. And right now is the time to become a Smart Club member and get your furnace in top shape before winter comes. Schedule your tune-up, boost your indoor air quality, or grab huge deals on a new system. Do not wait. Visit standardheating.com today. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
Best-selling author and business growth expert Candy Valentino brings her unique spin on achieving financial freedom.
More than 70% of people feel some sense of imposter syndrome in their life. So that when feelings of fraudulency arise, remind yourself of who you are. Make sure that you recognize and celebrate small milestones. Practicing this will really shift your focus from seeking perfectionism to really acknowledging progress.
The Candy Valentino Podcast, wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Oh, here we go again.
On 93X.
I hear you. Welcome back to the effing program. What the hell are we going to do now here on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show? It's 8:28. It's Friday, so I can't say that I care too much what direction we go in now. Oh, God. This must have been left over from a Halloween conversation, or at least it comes off that way. But we can go ahead anyway. A poll was dumped on people from one end of town to the other. What would be worse? To find under your bed. What would be worse to find under your bed? A dead person or a living person?
Oh, a living person. I'm going to jump the gun.
What the hell are you doing under there? Who the hell are you? Of course, you have to assume it's not just a friend playing a prank on you or something like that. It's someone you've never seen before. A dead person or a living person. The living person, it's pretty scary, but so is the dead guy.
How long's the guy been dead?
I have no idea.
Well, you can't ask those questions.
So
It's just one or the other. You take it at face value.
I'm going to be very selfish in this situation. I would rather it be a dead person that's under my bed because the dead person can't hurt me.
Right.
I'd go dead.
I don't think that's very selfish of you. I think that's just quite
But
unnatural.
Ashley, okay, the dead person, yes, of course, they can't hurt you. But who the hell, the person that put that dead person under the bed could? It didn't get under there all by itself, I don't think, but we don't know.
I guess I just assumed that person wasn't in my house anymore.
What do you mean? What?
Whoever killed him, yeah.
I mean, we don't know that the person has been murdered. Maybe someone just crawled under your bed and died.
Oh, God.
But there's many unanswered questions when you find that dead person under your bed.
Did I forget I killed someone?
Oh, man, I was really drunk last weekend. Did I? Oh, no.
Josh, who would you rather find under your bed? A dead person or one that is alive?
Well, first, it's kind of BS. It can't be both. That's what I prefer if I had one choice. But I understand how this works. You know, originally I was going to say I'd rather find a dead person. But I think if I found, because the live person, you think, wow, that's creepy. How long have they've been staring at me or whatever somebody would do under there. But,
right.
But I might wonder, at least maybe with the alive person, I could get some answers as to how they got there, their motivations and things like that. With the dead person, you might never find out. Like Dana said, you might go, did I kill that person and put that person underneath there?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to take from this?
What's that friggin' live person? What do they want from me? How'd the dead guy get there? It's deadlocked. The poll was damn near deadlocked. 49% of people said they'd rather the person was alive, who they find under their bed. 51% said they'd rather have a dead person down there.
This is a funny text. You know what? They both would be dead either way if I looked under the bed.
Well, yeah. Someone said they'd rather the person be alive. Oh, this is basically what that text message just said, roughly. Someone said they'd rather the person be alive so they could choose to kill them if needed. But are you sure you could accomplish that? Are you sure you could get away from that live person?
Yeah.
There's so many different angles this could go.
Maybe it was a hot mama.
Someone else said a dead person may be more gross than scary until you consider that an alive person had to have put the dead person there, and they still might be hanging around your house.
Or maybe like the dead person was going to surprise you. You haven't seen them in a decade or so. It's an old friend, and they waited so long they passed away.
God,
Oh, Jesus.
I'd feel terrible. And he's got like a sign in his hand that says surprise or something.
Why did it have to go to a double feature? One movie's enough for one person.
Right. Dead guy someone you knew looking to prank you, and they died waiting on your ass. This, I think, is a silly part of the whole poll survey. This is just silly. Would you proactively try to hide the dead body? Why would you try to hide the dead body? You didn't do anything.
No.
So that I don't understand why that's factored in at all. Or would you rather hide the dead body or try to explain this to the police? I mean, if I'm some derelict with an extremely checkered past, I might consider some things because I would think, oh, Christ, they're going to blame this on me. But if I'm just me, why the hell am I digging a hole in the backyard to hide the body when I could just call the cops? Either way, pretty scary situation to be in. I don't know anyone who's found a dead or a living body of a complete stranger in their house, but I told you about the gal that I know who had a stranger enter their house, and she pulled a mind F on him and got him out of there. Gal friend of mine jumps out the shower, wraps a towel around her gorgeous little body, and walks out of her bathroom, and there's a dude standing in her hallway. And I give her all the credit in the world. I haven't seen her in years, but back whenever the story would come up, I would always give her all the credit in the world. You want to talk about just being cool under pressure. She says, out of nowhere, "Oh, I'm sorry. You must have walked into the wrong apartment. I'm apartment 104. You're probably looking for somebody else. So if you just," and she just walks beyond the guy and opens up her apartment door and says, you must be looking for someone else. Maybe you want to go downstairs and talk to the manager. And because this individual was obviously an uncorked person mentally, she kind of fooled the sumbitch. I mean, I don't think the guy, believed that he really walked into the wrong apartment. I just think the fact that she didn't scream and run, which is what he was likely looking for, just threw his whole approach to the situation. Do you know what I mean, Josh?
Yeah, she's brave for that.
That actually, I rewatched The Sixth Sense recently. I haven't watched it since it came out. And that was pretty much what Bruce Willis did in that when the intruder came in the house. Same type of thing. Hey, just so you know, here's the address you're at. Kind of doing the same thing as your friend did.
Okay, I don't remember that scene, but yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, she didn't react the way the guy was hoping for. She was very calm and reasonable, and he didn't know where to go with it. Or maybe he was so stupid that she convinced him that he was in the wrong apartment. Anything's possible. All right, Josh. Are you manly? Do you consider yourself manly?
Maybe in some ways.
Yeah?
Maybe probably 50-50.
Of course, it depends on who you are, your upbringing. Different people have different definitions of what manliness is. Ashley, you tell us. What are some of the traits of a manly man? Or you can also tell us what are some traits of the opposite, if you like, from a female's perspective?
Oof, I don't want to get in trouble here. I'd probably
It's a touchy situation, I understand.
they take care and care about the people in their life.
All right.
That is manly.
That's manly.
yeah.
They take care of their business.
Yeah.
Their girlfriends, wives, their babies.
Yeah, protective and that, like, along those same routes.
Sure, I like that.
Protective.
Sure. Does he have to be able to kick ass? Does he have to be able to be hi-ya? A weapon, a dangerous weapon.
I think that makes you extra manly.
Extra
but
manly.
I don't think like you have to be able to know how to fight to be a man, because I know plenty of men that they probably don't know how to throw a punch.
Promise me, son, not to do the things I've done. What you just said reminded me of the old Kenny Rogers song, Coward of the County.
I think that answer was kind of like Andrew DePaula's earlier when he said his wife is listening. She knows her boyfriend is listening, and her boyfriend couldn't kick anyone's ass.
No, I don't think he's ever been in a fight.
Oh, really?
Unless it was like during sports, because they used to get like, I don't know, probably during sports, but other than that.
I like your answers, though. I do. I like that. A real man handles his damn business. And that means kids. That means holding down a gig. That's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
I like manly guys who, we could probably end the clip there if you wanted to isolate that. I like manly guys who do some things that would be considered maybe unmanly, where I think that makes you maybe, I was going to say, not necessarily a better person, but a more interesting person. It just shows like you're just yourself.
You're comfortable in your own shoes.
Yeah, that's
to show
hot
that
stuff.
side of you.
That's hot
You
stuff.
let your daughters and stuff like finger paint your hands, fingernails.
Fingernails, sure.
Yeah, along those lines. Yeah.
Interesting route to take there. But
made me a little nervous for a split second.
I understand, I think, where you're going with that. Barstool Sports, I've heard that said out loud before.
Oh, sure.
Do you hang out there ever?
I do.
Oh, yeah, they're everywhere.
They ranked the top least manly things a man can do. Okay. Let's see where they go with this. The least. Well, they ranked them. It doesn't matter the ranking. This is just a series of things, according to whoever Barstool Sports, whoever they have on their staff.
A lot of people on their staff.
The least manly things a man can do. Not knowing basic sports conversation.
I don't know. I know some pretty manly dudes that could care less about like, what you consider the mainstream sports. They might like other things, but
Right. That's silly.
Yeah,
That's silly.
I've never once thought, boy, they're not manly that they can't tell me Sonny Gray's ERA right now.
Right. That's silly right there.
Yeah, they can frame a house, but they don't know what the starting lineup is for the Twins. Darn.
Dude, and it's all very interesting. Again, it depends on who you are. Everyone has a different idea of what, I guess, makes a man or a woman. It's all silliness, and it all comes down to your opinion. So there's nothing, concrete about any of this. But
go ahead, sir.
Also in the mix here, something that is not manly, according to this report from Barstool Sports, is when you can't throw a football or a baseball.
It's probably not something I would love to see.
But I do kind of cringe though when like a bro hey, throw me the ball, and they just kind of like.
There's
the reason
something there.
The reason I. Ashley just said, or somebody said, you can frame a house, but you don't know the Vikings starting lineup. One of my oldest friends couldn't do any damn thing with his hands. He could build you any damn thing. He could fix your car, your airplane, your bus, your moped, and he could build you a house in a day. But watching him throw a ball is some of the most comical entertainment I have ever seen in my life. So where does he stand, right? Where does he stand in this judgment of what's manly and what is not?
It makes him interesting.
It certainly does.
I like that about people.
Oh, my God.
Smokes your mom's pot Jesus said, I can fix your car and then make the best cookies you'll ever eat.
Oh, I like that. I like that balance
it's like
we're talking about.
You're at the balance.
I totally understand what you guys are saying. Yeah, there is something manly about a dude who can do some of these things, little outside the box. Sure, I get it. You can make some cookies. You can. But this pal of mine, oh, God, he's just the worst athlete I have ever seen in my life. And it is so much fun if ever a football is in his hand or a baseball. Oh, God. And I've told you before, when we were up at BIR, we went up there for many years in a row, as you guys know. And we're playing catch with a football. And this pal of mine, the one who can build you a house but also lose you any game where he's on your team because he's such a terrible athlete, the ball bounced away from somebody and landed at his feet. And I said under my breath, I said, oh, no. Because he had to pick up that football and throw it to somebody. And when he threw it, it was so awkward and horrible looking. A complete stranger camping nearby who had nothing to do with this game of catch, a complete stranger said, dude, that's really how you throw a football? It was so friggin' good.
Gets a stranger to comment on it.
You got a complete stranger to critique the way you throw a football. That's when you know you're really bad at throwing a football. I mean, and I think my pal even kind of went, when he delivered it.
It's like in the movie Sandlot, Nick. I know you've never seen it.
Never saw it.
The kid in the beginning, the main character, Scotty Smalls, he's never thrown a baseball, and he gets dragged out to the Sandlot, and he's trying to be part of the team, and he realizes he can't throw, so he just runs the ball in and hands it back to the pitcher from the outfield.
Didn't want anyone to see him throw the ball?
That's hilarious.
So, okay, we got to take a break here in a minute, but again, back to Barstool Sports, speaking on the topic of the least manly things a guy can do. We started with not knowing basic sports conversation. Throw that in the garbage. Not being able to throw a ball. Throw that in the garbage, too. Constantly using chapstick made the list.
I don't like chapstick at all. I hate it. I don't know why. I don't like lotion. It must all be in that same category.
What do you have against beautiful lubricant that can help your body and all that?
I just don't like the feeling of it.
I don't ever use chapstick, but I'll tell you what. And I don't really have a problem with chapped lips, but when I get it, it's bad.
Yeah, I hate it.
And I will look like, when I have chapped lips, I apply enough of that goo to where I look like I'm the oral sex champion of Hennepin County. I mean,
I just Vaseline those suckers up real good.
There's nothing wrong with soft, luscious lips on a man, all right?
I mean, but I just look greased when I'm done because, I mean, I apply way more than enough.
Skitty Fixer Jesus said, my neighbor's not a man. I have to fix his car and bang his old lady, and then he put in parentheses, tough guy voice.
Half-assed morning show.
Due to some sexual content, parental discretion is advised.
On 93X.
I'm a deer hunter,
sure.
How do you do? I got the deer hunting rapping tale for you. I'm so excited, it's my favorite time of year. I love to feast my buns, chasing trophy deer. I got this great big knife, cause the hunting is my life. It's my chance to drink beer and get away from the wife. Well, we partied all night, never made it to our bunks. And I was sitting in the tree stand on a 3-day drunk. Wind was blowing 45, temp 30 below. I was freezing to death, then it started to snow. So I got down from the tree stand, started heading for the truck. And that's when I seen it there. The 30-point buck.
30-point buck.
30-point buck.
I love that song.
Me too.
Good luck to all you folks. Headed out to murder Bambi.
Oh, hey,
This-
no, don't
What?
do that. I'm heading out.
That's what you're doing,
today.
though.
You don't like that slogan?
No.
But you're not very good at hunting, are you?
I don't know. You could ask the 10-point buck I got last year, Josh.
You know, what did it do?
Meaning you didn't kill it, so I could go ask? It got away?
He's in the basement.
What was the setup? What was the Had someone already blown 2 of its legs off or something?
Yeah, I kicked him while he was down.
Good luck to all you folks. I've always thought that slogan was kind of cute, going out to murder Bambi.
I'll use it on my dad today. I bet he'll get a kick out of it.
You know what we were talking about before we had to take a little break, Ski? We were rating manliness. Well, we weren't. We were reading a report from Barstool Sports They think, Josh, they have the authority to rate manliness. And they made up a list of the least manly things a man can do. And again, depends on who you are, how you were brought up. Different people have different definitions of what manliness is and is not. I like what Ashley said earlier. Talked about manliness means a guy handling his business. You also said you didn't mean to rip off or commit gimmick infringement against Kenny Rogers, the late, great Kenny Rogers. But you said, you don't have to fight to be a man. Well, here's Barstool Sports, the least manly things that a man can do. Here's what we've covered so far. If you don't know basic sports conversation, that's not very manly. If you use chapstick.
That's so random.
Yeah. I do have a friend that uses it like it's his nervous tick and stuff, especially when he's out socializing. So I can always tell when we were at the bar back in college if his lips look so shiny, I'm like, oh, he's really nervous right now because he just pulls it out. It's like his tick. It's what he does.
He applies chapstick when he's nervous?
Mm-hmm. In social settings, yeah. He has to have chapstick on him. I saw him once leave the bar because he lost his chapstick, and it's like his security blanket.
All right, again, according to Barstool Sports, if you can't throw a football or a baseball, you're not very manly. Using a straw with every drink.
So, I don't use one with every drink, but if I'm drinking like a pop, I'll use a straw.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And if I'm with like some dudes and none of them are using straws and it has nothing to do with their love of turtles, then I do sometimes wonder, should I not be using a straw?
You mean
like in the can you use the straw?
Oh, not a can.
Oh,
talking like a fountain soda.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, not a can.
Soda fountain sodas.
Yeah, like if I go to Chipotle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I load up on the super large drink, which I spilled all over the floor the other day.
Oh, no.
I'll use a straw.
In the store?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
right in the restaurant.
Oh, no.
You
That's the worst feeling.
What is a terrible feeling?
When you just drop your pop or food all over the store and someone else has to come clean it up.
Oh, no,
like,
I cleaned it up.
Oh,
the dude
okay.
looked at me like, hey, I work here, but you're cleaning that up.
no.
You're on your hands and knees with napkins.
And I couldn't even get it all the way done, so I grabbed one of those yellow caution deals, and I had to put that. I had to tent that little plastic caution deal right over it. It was pretty embarrassing. I got to be honest. My kids loved it.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, boy, did
they're probably taking pictures of you.
Oh man, they loved it. I did not.
If you use an umbrella whenever there is a rainy day, you are not manly.
I've never used an umbrella.
Yeah, I've never had one.
I've never had one either.
Really? That's
because I'm a man, Ashley.
That is crazy to me.
I got them sitting around. I got one or two sitting around the house, but they never get used. You know, the other day, Josh, I borrowed my sister's motor vehicle. She had 3 umbrellas in the friggin' vehicle.
Yeah, really? That's normal
What do
for
you
women. Yeah.
Go to
Is it a
Seattle or
convertible?
something?
Yeah. Well, so for me, I mean, I guess if you never go outdoors, you're not really going to need an umbrella.
Mm-hmm. If you need help opening a jar, you lack manliness.
I'm so good at that.
Yeah, that's a manly job.
I'm
when
pretty
I
good
can't
at that,
open
too.
a job. When I can't open a jar, I expect the man in the household to be able to open it.
This makes no sense. If you need help reaching something on the top shelf, you're not manly. That just means you're not tall.
Yeah, you're just short.
What the hell is this? And then most of these make no sense at all, judging someone's manliness on some of these things. If you blow on hot soup?
Oh, sorry, you know what? 3rd-degree burns. What?
What? So in order to be a man, I have to fire boiling hot soup into my mouth. I have to just windmill that stuff. Don't let it cool at all. I want to be manly.
Yeah, if you don't eat a pizza as soon as it comes out of the oven, you are not a man.
Having a limp fish, weak handshake means you lack manliness.
That one I can kind of agree with.
Yeah, I always get kind of. It makes me uncomfortable if somebody's real limp-fisted there. Like, I think something might be wrong with them.
Right. I don't question
Like
their
they're sick.
manliness. I question
or maybe
more their mental makeup.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't even know what this means. But you are not manly if you frolic when you walk. Well, what if I'm just in a really good friggin' mood?
What?
I like to walk with whimsy.
Yeah, I add a little bounce in there sometimes.
You're not allowed to frolic.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. It's a wonderful day.
Let's all frolic together to our cars after the show.
All right, picture this, Josh. Well, you don't have to picture this because maybe you're not even aware that you do it, but I've seen you do it. You're not manly if you do this. You're the opposite of manly. Josh, you don't even know that you do this, but the last time you came over to watch a movie at my house, you laid on your stomach and you swung your feet back and forth as you were watching the movie.
Yeah, I know.
And you rest your chin on the palms of your hands, and you kind of just kick your legs behind you. Yeah.
I always do that.
Yeah.
Especially when you're on the phone.
If I'm really into it, too. Yeah, that's true. And then I curl the cord of the phone on my finger.
Yeah.
If you say ew when something gross happens,
I do that a lot.
You are not manly.
You're not manly, Waffles.
Yeah.
You heard it here.
I always carry chapstick, and I do that.
These are crazy.
You know what? There's something, Josh, that you say, and it doesn't make me question your manliness, but it's just something I don't think a guy should say. And that is when you describe a penis as a wiener.
That's why I like to use words like that for that purpose.
Okay.
I like to say owie, wiener, tinkle.
Oh, the other thing tinkle.
Yeah.
You
toot.
That's the one that makes me crazy.
I know.
When you refer to a fart as a toot.
Yeah. I like that kind of thing.
Okay. What else here on the Barstool Report? If you do these things, you're short on manliness. If you cover your ears when a cop car or an ambulance goes by with a siren.
All right, if you're doing that at all and you're over the age of 10, I'm judging.
What, I can't plug my ears if something's loud?
Is it that loud?
I mean, if it's crossing right in front of me, yeah. I can't hear dick anymore anyway, but I'm not saying that I do that. I don't. But if I plug my ears because something's loud, suddenly I'm not a man. I have to go deaf to prove my manliness.
My dogs recently started one of them started it, and the other one's like, oh, this is fun. And they'll howl anytime they hear a siren. So I've been calling 911 with fake reports just so I can record it because my wife loves it. She loves
it's so cute.
The best girl in the whole world, Megan Marie. She was a howler when the cops and the ambulance and the fire wagons would go by, and it was always a lot of laughs. If Megan Marie did it, the best girl in the whole world, all dogs should be allowed to do it.
It's fun.
Chasing something like a piece of paper blowing in the wind. Okay, now they're just being silly.
Oh, I get what they mean. It's like
you're just giggling and chasing something that's blowing in the wind.
Yeah, it's not necessarily you're doing it for fun.
What if it's a 20?
I think it's kind of this would fall more under the lines of being an ick. Like
it's
if a girl sees you do that, and it's kind of like, oh, look at them trying so hard.
I just learned about the ick from, what's it called? Dang it.
Barstool Sports.
No, it's a Netflix show, and it was pretty good.
Nobody wants this?
Yeah, nobody wants this.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and they talked about the ick.
The ick.
Where, you're dating somebody new, and then they do or say something that you call the ick because it changes how you feel about it.
Yep, changes the way you perceve them.
Yeah, you look at him in a different way from something. Like what he said, he did the Chef Boyardee, or not the ragu, it's in there. I can't remember what he did. He did something, and all of a sudden, the girl looked at him differently after that. She couldn't see anything else other than that impression.
Yep.
All right, there's two more here. Two more things that a man can go ahead and do. And at least according to the folks at Barstool Sports, they're going to judge you, and they're going to determine you to be not so manly. Taking a selfie with the duck lips pose and holding your nose when you jump into a body of water. That's funny stuff. Right there.
That one is good.
That is, it's another kind of like when you see your buddy we were talking earlier throwing a baseball and they just look so awkward.
Yeah.
You kind of have that secondhand embarrassment for them if you see them jump off the pontoon and plug their nose.
I've gotten crap for that.
Geronimo.
Hold on, let me plug my nose.
Yeah.
Hot Cocoa Jesus, who is so funny. She texted.
And Wawa Weewa.
Yes, that too. Yes.
Double
I'm sorry
threat.
I left that out. Yes.
Whoa.
Double threat. That's a good way to say it, Dana. On the topic of being manly, said, sometimes you just got to pull up your big boy pants, take the Toot factory to the Tinkle station, and be done with it. Like a man would, Hot Cocoa Jesus.
Yeah, it depends on who you are.
Toot Factory.
The Toot Factory.
I'm copying this text and I'm gonna put that on my phone. I never want to forget that text.
Josh won't even go in the neighborhood of the Toot Factory.
That's the wrong side of town.
For him, that is the wrong side of town.
Too scary.
Here's a couple of text messages on manliness or lack thereof. This is 715 Mild Man Jesus. He says, I work for a plumbing shop. I work on cars. I do all sorts of other man stuff, but I do not know dick about sports. It even says man twice in my Jesus name. You're right. He says, Barstool Sports can kiss his ass. One other listener said, I can build anything and fix anything. But also, I raised 3 daughters. I can fix a ponytail in no time.
That's cool.
Heck yeah.
Bite-sized mechanic Jesus said he's never met another mechanic who can crochet like he can. And he wants to know, if I crochet while watching football, is that more or less manly?
Crocheting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like I said, I like that. Just the dichotomy there. Of you're a real person.
Yep.
Everyone considered him the coward of the county.
That's a great tune.
Well, one of my favorites of all time. Yeah.
Do we have anything else to do, or should we get out of here?
He never stood one single time to prove the county wrong. Now you can go.
Okay. I don't want to interrupt Kenny.
His mama named him Tommy, but folks just called him, what'd they call him? Yella? Something always told me they were reading Tommy wrong. I guess now would be good.
All right, I'm afraid to say anything.
No, that's probably because if you let me go any further, I'm going to sing the whole friggin' song.
Well, because, not to say anything.
He was only 10 years old when his daddy died in prison.
You see what I'm saying?
And I looked after Tommy. Want to know why?
Why?
Because he was my brother's son.
Your nephew?
I still recall the final words my brother said to Tommy. He said, son, my life is over, but yours has just begun. And what's beautiful about this moment right now, Josh, is I know I've sent a great deal of our listeners into the chorus of Coward of the County by singing the first verse in its entirety. Enjoy that because it's a beautiful thing.
Happy 18th birthday to Mariah tomorrow from Dad. Happy 32nd to Irish Ironworker Jesus from Naughty School Teacher Jesus. Happy birthday to Candy Jesus. Happy birthday to Juicy Jerky Jesus. Jeff C. Jesus texted a shout-out to his brother, See 'em, Seize 'em, and Squeeze 'em Jesus, and his wife. They had their first kid. More importantly, his niece, he called her. Happy birthday to column jockey Messiah, turning, I don't have an age here. Maybe he said 56. And he said his mane is somehow even more lush than ever at that age. Happy birthday to Lucian Gage, turning the big 09 tomorrow from Mom and Dad, retired Air Force Jesus. Happy 90th to Grandma Lois. She's getting a pizza party from her grandson Magic Softball Jesus and his son Mason today.
A pizza party,
She's
huh?
got a pizza party.
How about
at
if
the
you're
home.
a grown man and you have a pizza party? Are you lacking manliness?
Oh, I'd love a pizza party.
As a grown man?
Yeah.
A pizza party?
Yeah, that'd be
sweet.
Yeah.
Sorry I blew up.
I'd show up.
I'll have a pizza party all day, all night. Good luck. Well, not too late. Maybe up until 7.
And not on a weeknight.
Yeah, and everybody has to leave by 7. Good luck and stay safe to all the hunters out there. Have a great weekend.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Winter's arrived, and with the holidays around the corner, it's the perfect time for Standard Heating's Black Friday Comfort Countdown specials. And right now is the time to become a Smart Club member and get your furnace in top shape before winter comes. Visit standardheating.com today. Comfort you deserve since 1930.